What's up, baseball fans? And of course, what's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets and Rob. Of course, game 6 of the World Series, Astros, Phillies. The Astros are looking to clinch their second World Series championship within the last 5 years. And the Phillies are looking to hold on for just one more game to put it to a game 7 in Minute Maid Park in Houston. It will be a very interesting game. And also, welcome back to the channel. Hasn't been a live stream, obviously, for the last couple of weeks, basically, just because of the fact that, well, the Mets decided not to play well in the playoffs. So, unfortunately, we get to watch the Astros and the Phillies. And, of course, if you're a Mets fan rooting for the Phillies, I don't know why you would root for the Phillies. I don't think a Mets fan should root for an NL East team. And again, I have no bad will towards the Astros because at the end of the day, the Astros did what they did, and I still think of the fact that what are you supposed to do? They didn't get caught in the moment, so there's nothing you can do about it except what Major League Baseball did. So I'll be damned if I root for the Phillies. I'll be damned if I root for the Braves or anybody else. So Philly fans, I'm sorry, I'm not with you. The only time when I was with you was when I wanted you to beat the Braves during the season. Other than that, I hope you lose today. But again, no matter what happens, when it comes to, and I know I'm freezing up a little bit, I apologize about that. Give me a second. Sorry about that. All right, so if you're a Phillies fan and you're going to, if you happen to lose tonight or lose the World Series, if it's 6 or 7 games, you do have to look back on this year and enjoy what this team and the way it got through the playoffs into the World Series. And you know what? You shouldn't be mad at this team. You should be proud of that team because we all knew the Phillies had talent. We talked about it during the season, right? I never liked their bullpen. I always said Nola was never an ace. Wheeler was the ace. And the offense was the only good part of the Phillies. And we always knew that. They're a dangerous team, especially when healthy. They're a power hitting team. They're a good hitting team. I never thought their bullpen was good. There's a couple of guys that have pitched better, but you know, it's not like they got 3 or 4 guys at the deadline and threw them in the bullpen. It's a whole new bullpen. It's the same bullpen except for like 1 or 2 guys. And once again, you got Wheeler pitching today against Valdez. I think Wheeler is your best chance of getting to a game 7. Aaron Nola, I just never liked. I do think the fact that Philly fans are basically so in love with Aaron Nola. I get it because he is a homegrown talent. So you're going to fall in love with that type of player, just like Met fans fall in love with DeGrom and other players that come up through your system. But Aaron Nola is a good pitcher that has every now and then really, really good starts. Wheeler, on the other hand, you know he's got the stuff. And that's exactly what I think. I think Wheeler's going to pitch very well today. But I also think Valdez is going to pitch well today. And it's going to come down to who has been getting the clutch hits in this ballgame. Anytime that they needed a play, the Astros seem to get it. They're showing McCormick in Game 5, the catch he made in right center field against the wall. It's little things like that that win you championships. And the Phillies have been doing it throughout the playoffs. But you know what? When your aces like Wheeler and like Nola did in this series, yes, the Phillies did win 1 out of 2 in Houston in Game 1 of Game 2. It came down to the fact that your aces have not performed up to the level that you were expecting, right? The Phillies had every opportunity to win both of those games in Houston in game 1 and 2. But you know what? Nola didn't look good. And you know, if it wasn't for a comeback for the Phillies with their offense, they would have went to Philly down 2-0, and this series would have been probably over. So, unfortunately, for the Phillies, their aces have not performed up to the level like they did the prior couple of series, and that's what hurt them in this series. We know what their offense can do, but it comes down to the little things that the Astros do. Great defensive plays. You saw what Mancini did at first base. Yes, the ball basically caught him, but you know what? He got his glove down in the right place at the right time. He was holding a runner on first. He was guarding the line. It helped him out in that situation. But at the end of the day, it still came down to the Astros still doing the little things that puts them over the top, it seems like, in every series they play. And I do think they're going to win tonight, the Astros. I think the Phillies are going to fight damn hard, and why shouldn't they? But again, Philly fans, you got to understand the fact that even if you lose, this year was an accomplishment just based on the fact that an 87-win season, you were the last team in the playoffs. You got hot at the right time, which baseball playoffs is all about now. It doesn't matter if you have the best record. It doesn't matter if you're the best team in baseball. It comes down to the fact if you're the hot team at the right time, going through the National League or the American League. The Astros, yes, were the best team in the American League, but they also remained hot at the right time. You know, everybody was looking at the Seattle Mariners like the team of that can shock a lot of people, like the Phillies have. You know, the Phillies were dangerous because they scored a ton of runs in the playoffs. You know, yes, it was a little bit about their pitching, but let's be honest, they were out hitting a lot of the games in the postseason, right? The first 3 games in the World Series, they scored 15 runs. That's a big reason why they won 2 out of the first 3 games. And it's funny that people just think that just because this team doesn't look good on paper, like we talked about when the Mets and Brave fans were going back and forth the entire season, right? Oh, we're better. Look at our lineup. But it didn't matter. It came down to the fact that what do you do at this moment, at this time, during this inning, during this game? And that's exactly what the Phillies have done. And they continue to do it throughout the postseason. And right now, when it comes to this series, it just comes up again where after game 3, everybody thought the series was not going back to Houston. But that's why Houston is good. I don't care what anybody talks about the cheating and this and that. This team is still talented, right? There's no more Correa. Let me know which team in Major League Baseball can lose their starting shortstop in Correa, who is clutch. Their starting center fielder, who is clutch in the playoffs. Losing Garrett Cole. Losing, I mean, it's crazy to me. They lost Brantley, and McCormick fills in and makes great catches, gets big hits. He got a lot of big hits in the Yankee series and played well defensively in this series. And it comes back to the fact that when you see what these teams can do, the little things means everything to a team like the Astros that are already freaking good. But when it comes down to getting it done, they seem to do a lot more of the little things than the team they're facing throughout the series, right? Verlander finally came through in game 5, right? Didn't pitch great, but pitched well enough. You know, Valdez is that type of guy that he doesn't throw really hard, but he's like a surgeon. Like when he spots his fastballs, he throws his breaking ball over for a strike. He'll make you go outside the zone a little bit and then come inside with his 94, 95 miles an hour fastball and strike you out. He's just been that type of pitcher. He doesn't blow you away, but it seems like he keeps every batter off balance. Again, the Phillies have a chance tonight because Zach Wheeler is on the mound, the true ace of the Phillies. All right, it's not Aaron Nola. Philly fans all year kept on saying Nola's the ace, Nola's the ace. Nola was never the ace. Nola is a good pitcher who has really good starts, few and far between. Zach Wheeler, on the other hand, has better stuff than Nola. And if Wheeler spots those fastballs on the corners early, he's going to be very hard to beat with that curveball and that nasty slider that he has. And that's exactly why Wheeler is perfect for Game 6. Now, again, Game 7 is going to be rough for the Phillies because who knows who's going to pitch, but it's all hands on deck, right? Everybody's going to be able to pitch. It's just a matter of who gets the upper hand in that spot. And that's what you have to look at when it comes to what, again, the Phillies better not look past tonight, and they shouldn't do that. Again, we know about the Phillies lineup. We know, I honestly think the Phillies lineup is more dangerous than the Astros lineup, but you know what? The Phillies lineup doesn't do what the Astros lineup does, like the McCormicks of the world. Like, it's just amazing that, Gurriel, who's out for the rest of the World Series because of the knee. Lucas, thank you, but whatever. So when it comes down to it, the Phillies have to do the small things to win these next 2 games. It's obviously going to be difficult to win 2 games in Houston. Is it possible? Of course it is. And it comes down also to the fact that I do think Valdez and Wheeler are going to pitch very well. So it's going to come probably into the middle to late innings where possibly one of those pitchers are wearing down a little bit, might have between 90 and 100 pitches. And, that bullpen's starting to go in. But I trust the Astros bullpen a hell of a lot more than the Phillies bullpen. And that's where I'm looking at. And, well, Lucas, it's still baseball. You know what I'm saying, buddy? Like, I mean, if it still pains you what the Mets did, you know what? The Mets blew it themselves, right? And that's the bigger problem that I have with the Mets. And we'll get into the Mets in a second. But no, you see, that's the problem with a lot of Mets fans, is that you automatically act like baseball is not still going on. But if Houston wins the World Series today, you're automatically back into baseball mode because the Mets have 5 days to exclusively talk to all their players that could become free agents. And I will talk about that in a little bit as well. And, if you're a fan of baseball, it doesn't matter if it was the Yankees and the Phillies. It's not like I was streaming every World Series game. I did say on the community page on my channel that I'm going to stream the clincher of one of those games. Whatever team has a chance to clinch, that's when I was going to do it, because what this represents is baseball turning over a new lease for 2023. I'm not going to be, throwing champagne on my head because the Astros beat the Phillies. I mean, yeah, it would put a smile on my face, but it's not. I'm not throwing champagne all over the place. The same thing for the Phillies. I'd be pissed if they won, but baseball is not irrelevant when your team is out. If you think that, then I don't know what to tell you, to be honest with you. Yeah, so free agency officially starts at 9 a.m. the day after the World Series ends. So if the Astros win 9 a.m. tomorrow morning is when players and teams can speak about contract extensions before the 5 days are up when they become an unrestricted free agent. So, well, Louis, I don't know. And listen, every one of those teams went on a run. None of those teams, the Nationals, the Braves, and the Phillies, besides the Braves who won the division, and they had less than 90 wins. They went on a run and they got hot at the right time. This wasn't a team where you seen if the Phillies were dominant the whole year and they got to this point, I'd be like, all right, everybody expected it. But when you don't expect it and you see how they got there, it wasn't like, they made these great, the Braves made the right moves. They weren't great moves at the time. They were filling in outfield spots because of all their injuries. But those guys were the right guys at the right time that got hot. Let's be honest. Freeman was really good in the playoffs, but who were the stars of the Braves last year? It was Soler and Rosario. If it wasn't for those two, the Braves would have never won the World Series. I mean, Soler was the World Series MVP for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, it does feel like, and that's what that's why when people are like, oh, the Mets got to do this, the Mets got to do that, or any other fan base is saying, my team's got to do this, my team's got to do that. It still comes down to who gets hot at the right time. That's the way the Major League Baseball playoffs are now. Who gets hot at the right time? That's it. There's no other way to put it. Who gets hot at the right time? And that's the only way it happens. That's the only way it works now. The MLB playoffs has become a lot like the NHL playoffs. Just get in. So everybody who's going crazy with, oh, the Mets were in a wild card, oh, the Mets should have won the division, it would have been different. Nobody knows that. It's not, why couldn't the Mets get hot in the wild card round? Well, guess what? Scherzer looked like crap and Bassett pitched like crap. That's the reason why. Oh, guess what? The Mets didn't score either. It's just the time to get hot at the right time. And the Phillies did that, and the Astros, even though they were the best team in the American League, let's be honest. The American League was garbage this year. So the Astros played well enough against garbage competition. And they're at this point. But you know what? They're playing a team like the Phillies, who is not really a good team. I mean, it's been established the entire year that the Phillies are not a great team. They're good, but that's about it. They're a middle of the pack team that got hot in the playoffs. The Astros beat them in 6. They should beat them, and that's the way it should go. And that's how it goes. Dylan, nope. I think Astros are going to win tonight. Well, Lucas, that doesn't make sense because why did the Braves, the Phillies, and the Nationals all make the World Series, and the Nationals and Braves won, and the Phillies still have an opportunity to win the World Series? It's something against that. Like, do you think the Kansas City Royals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, are saying Major League Baseball is holding them back? No. Hogan? Well, you're not a great team. Like, if you open up your eyes, you're not a great team. You just got hot at the right time. The same way the Braves weren't a great team last year, but got hot at the right time. The Nationals weren't a great team. They were basically an average team that got hot at the right time. But you didn't overachieve in the regular season. With all the signings that you made, and according to the Phillies fans, with 2 aces, which Nola is not an ace, he's a good pitcher. Wheeler's your ace. You didn't overachieve. If you want to talk like that, you underachieved. But during the entire season, with 87 wins, that's considered an average team, right? You were 3rd place in the National League East. You got hot at the right time. That's not an insult. That's just common sense and a fact. You were a good team, middle of the road team, right? You were the last team to make the playoffs in the National League. That's a team that was 6 games, 6 games over 500? That's an average team. No, the Mets didn't overachieve. The Mets were what they were the entire season, but choked the last week of the season. That's basically it. You don't win 101 games and say you overachieved. Did the Braves overachieve? Because what you're saying, the Braves must have overachieved because they won 88 games last year. So did they overachieve? What about the Dodgers? Did they overachieve? they played 3 more games than the Mets. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like I was saying, Hogan, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but the Phillies bullpen is the same bullpen that was garbage the majority of the year, except David Robinson and maybe one other piece. Other than that, your bullpen arms started pitching better, like Brogdon. He's pitched better, but that automatically means he's a good reliever? No. The same thing when it goes for the Mets. Like, other than Diaz, there was nobody I trust in that bullpen. But if they pitch well in the playoffs, like the Mets bullpen wasn't the problem in the Padres series. It was the starting pitching, which makes no sense. But it happened, right? The Dodgers clearly underachieved, right? You don't win 100 games and say you overachieved. Because then you could say the Braves overachieved, who had 88 wins the year prior. And that's when it comes back to the fact that if you look at the Phillies as a whole, they were an average team. They were middle of the road, right? You can't be the last team in the playoffs, and just because you had one good 65 games, that's basically a third of the season. But the other 2/3 of the season were average at best. You were one of the better teams in the last 60-something games. Yes. But that got you just right where you needed to be to get into the playoffs. But you got hot at the right time. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I like this setup for the playoffs because I think it gives more teams opportunities to win. And that's not a bad thing. Because anybody who says that the Phillies shouldn't be in the playoffs will be the same fans that if they were in the Phillies spot wouldn't give a damn. They would be going crazy knowing that their team is 2 wins away from the World Series. So that's why you have to give credit to a team like the Phillies. And this is coming from a diehard Mets fan. This is not hating or being biased towards the Phillies. It's just that you have to call it what it is. The Phillies aren't a great team. Just because they made the World Series doesn't mean they're a great team. They got hot at the right time, right? The Astros, who were the best team in the American League, should make the World Series because the American League was garbage the entire year. There was no competition in the American League. All right, that's a fact. When you have a team like the Yankees who make the ALCS because they're just got over the hump against the Guardians, the Astros should win. And when you see how bad the Yankees were, that got swept by the Astros. That's what should have happened because the Yankees weren't good, right? Did the Yankees overachieve? I think so because I thought they were never really a good team. They were the team more of the second half than they were the first half. Now, I don't know if the Phillies were more of the 60-game Phillies or the 100-game Phillies. I don't know. But let's not act like the Phillies went out and got 4 guys for their bullpen and got 2 guys for their lineup because they didn't. Their biggest deadline acquisition was what? Marsh is pretty good. That was a nice pickup to solidify center field a little bit. But it was Robinson, who wasn't available for the first half of the playoffs. So it's not like you had big-time bats or big-time arms that helped the Phillies get over the hump. Like Soler and Rosario helped the Braves propel them to a championship. They helped them because one had a great postseason in Rosario, and Soler was outrageously good in the World Series and won the MVP in the World Series. So it's not like the guys who were supposed to do good, the Harper, the Schwarber, the Castellanos, are doing their jobs now. And that's why the Phillies are doing well. But the whole season, yes, Harper was hurt. But again, The bullpen was bad. It's still the same bullpen except for one, maybe two arms. It's just that bullpen is pitching a little bit better. Brogdon got rocked basically the entire year, right? Couldn't get a Met out the entire year. Couldn't get most people out the entire year, but looks pretty good in the playoffs. You can't predict that. So the people who think that the Phillies are just a great team all of a sudden because they made the World Series, you're fooling yourself. But that doesn't diminish what they did in the playoffs, because that is absolutely amazing what they did in the playoffs, but they're not the first team to do it. The Nationals were, the Braves were. So I don't know what else to say except the fact that I don't think the Phillies are better than the Astros. They got a very tall task to win the next two games in Houston. If they do that, congratulations to the Phillies. But, you know, I understand Philly fans love their team and they're passionate, which is great. And that's what I love about passionate baseball fans. That's why this channel is for the passionate baseball fan. Yes, the Mets fans, but I never get on a passionate fan of their team, because Philly fans, last time I checked, even when they were playing bad, they were killing their players all season. When I was in Philly the last time with the Seven Line Army, what was it, in July, maybe August? I think it was August. Philly fans, I was talking to Philly fans at the big bar across the street, and they were pissed. They were playing better, but they were pissed because they still wanted to do more during the deadline, and they didn't think they were any good either. They were fighting for a playoff spot. So you can't just say, oh, we're great now because we're in the World Series. That's not fair, because there's three teams that were better, but guess who played well? The Phillies. So it is what it is. There was no disrespect for the Phillies. They got there by playing very, very well, and you can't take that away from them. And the same thing with the Braves last year, and the same thing with the Nationals in 2019. You can't predict it, but isn't that why we love sports? Because it's the unpredictable can happen. If everything was predictable, we wouldn't watch. We wouldn't get nervous. We wouldn't, the anticipation is just too much, right? When you go to a playoff game in your stadium, or when you're watching it when they're on the road on TV, you get nervous, you're worried. Any bad bounce of a ball can change the outcome of a ball game. Again, the unpredictability of sports, and now the unpredictability of the Major League Baseball postseason, is why it's better. Now, yes, you might get a team like the Phillies that are only 6 games over 500 making the World Series, but it doesn't mean that they didn't do what they had to do. They got hot. They played well to get to that point. It's not like they beat scrubs, right? They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Braves. It's like, and they beat the Padres. Like, good for them, right? Nobody can say that the Phillies and Padres were going to be in the NLCS, because nobody predicted that. But the unpredictability is what makes this fun. And you know what? There was a lot of years in Major League Baseball, 15, 20 years ago, when it was the same 4 teams every year at the end. And we saw it in the late 90s. We saw it in the 90s and early 2000s. It seemed like it was always the same couple of teams in the World Series every year. And it was it was now it's not. And if you don't like that, now I'm not saying that you can like the playoff format, but having more teams and the even if there was still just 5 teams in the playoffs, it still was unpredictable because of the fact that Major League Baseball is not the same sport it was 15 years ago, because the favorites usually won. There was usually no doubt about it. Now, you got to get hot at the right time, and that's not a bad thing. Alien, I agree with that. So once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. The game's about to start in a couple of minutes. So don't forget to hit on that like button. If you're new to the channel, say what's up. And if you subscribe, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Once again, guys, this is a Mets channel, but of course, you're a baseball fan. The World Series is always something special, no matter if your team is not in it. Yes, you can care less who wins, but at the same time, it gives you that thought that your team could be in it. And how would you feel if your team is in it 2 wins or 1 win away of winning the World Series? That's what you got to think about. And why I wanted to do a live stream for a possible clincher of a championship is because I wanted to promote the fact with this channel that starting Monday, MLB free agent frenzy is back every day. And it'll be different times, but it'll be every day. MLB free agent frenzy. Well, let me take that back. Mets Talk Live will be on Monday. Tuesday will be MLB Frenzy. Wednesday will be Mets Hot Stove. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be MLB Free Agent Frenzy. So the MLB Free Agent Frenzy live stream is always fun. We get a ton of baseball fans, not just Met fans, talking about possible players they can get for their teams, and it's a lot of fun. I'm going to probably do a little bit more Mets with that in the first 5 days because every team has exclusive rights to sign their players that could become free agents, and that's what I want to focus on first, and then we'll get into the frenzy, which is the MLB free agent frenzy, because it will be crazy and it will be fun, especially 2 New York teams that have a lot of free agents and a lot of question marks of who they might bring back and who they might get. So it will be fun to look at that. And we're just waiting for World Series Game 6 to start. Again, as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, game day will be up during the game. I'll have the game audio. And, of course, the chat will be rolling with all your comments and questions and opinions. And, of course, I'll give my reaction throughout the innings, just like I do with Mets games. So don't forget to hit on that like button and hang out with us throughout Game 6 and just have a conversation, baseball conversation. I do expect Philly fans to pop up. I do expect Astros fans to pop up. So, again, these 2 teams got hot. They beat the teams they probably weren't. Well, the Phillies weren't expected to beat teams that they faced, but they got there, and you got to give credit to them. Even if you don't like them, as a Mets fan, I'm don't like the Phillies, but you got to give them credit at the same time. So the game is about to start. Valdez, Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies and the Astros. Astros have the opportunity to win their 2nd World Series in 5 years. And the Phillies are looking to win their 1st World Series since 2008. And it will be very interesting to see if the Phillies get back to what they do well, which is power, power, power. That's how they win. All right. If Harper and Schwarber struggle, there's gonna be a couple of problems they're gonna have in this game. Because the Astros, in my opinion, are still more of a balanced lineup. And with guys like that, that can hit well with power, but they can also go gap to gap and score a couple of runs in a row as well. But again, Wheeler's tough. Valdez is tough. Who is going to get that first run of the ballgame? We will see. Valdez is on the mound. Astros took the field. As always, guys, let me know if you can hear the game audio.
He was in the World Series last year. He said the emotions got the best of it. They failed to make it through the 3rd inning in either of those starts against Atlanta. But in Game 2 of the World Series against the Phillies, pitched into the 7th inning and dominated that game, just the 1 run. He's faced them twice over the last month. And, John, he struck out 19 over 11-plus innings.
Yeah, this guy's turning into a bulldog, and he has a tremendous sinker, a lot of ground balls, but he has great balance, and really he's learned to have a great heartbeat on the mound. And if you're a game watcher or film watcher, you're going to want to do the same thing he did against the Phillies to have that success. Don't change a thing.
Alrighty, guys, there you go.
Kyle Schwarber to lead it off, and then Hoskins and Rio Muto, Harper, Castellanos, and Paul. Gene Segura is the seventh hitter at second baseman, and with the lefty on the mound, they do go with Bierling and Sosa instead of Marsh.
Waiting for the game to start, guys.
The interesting thing is his last game.
Alright, you guys hear it? That's good. So here we go. Astros, Phillies, Game 6. Astros looking to win their second World Series in 5 years, and the Phillies are trying to get it to a Game 7.
You cannot think about that if you're a Game 6 starter up 3-2. Hard not to, especially when you know the team is one way away from winning the World Series.
Have you been on both sides of this?
Here we go, guys.
With a chance to clinch. What's the difference emotionally?
Well, emotionally, when you have a elimination game like, let's say, Wheeler, your room for error is low. Your leash is quick, and you just want to pass the baton on to the guy waiting for Game 7. If you're Valdez, this is when you get selfish and say, I don't want anyone else to pitch after this game, and you take it in your own hands.
That's the deepest any pitcher had gone in a World Series game in 3 years when he took it in Game 2. So in 6 1/3, he faces Kyle Schwarber to get Game 6 started.
Normally, I'd say see how the game's going if you're Kyle Schwarber, but the way that he was pitched to last time, got a lot of fastballs early. I would
Here we go.
Like he did against
First pitch coming up. Schwarber coming to the box now.
Ready to hit a fastball and this at bat early in the first 2 pitches.
Astros 1 away from their second World Series in 6 years. The Phillies trying to force Game 7. And the man that started Game 5 with a home run stands in. Valdez rocks and fires, and off we go with ball 1. And immediately, John, he's going to up by Lance Barksdale, not giving Framber Valdez a low strike, a pitch that he needs, and Barksdale typically does not give pitchers many low strikes.
Right, and what Valdez is going to have to do is just keep the pressure on low in the zone.
That spot back down to play 1-1.
Well, this is what he did last time. He faced him leading off the game, and he attacked him with some fastballs. And then later in the game, he's going to mix it up. But he pitches off the extreme third base side of the rubber. His toe is barely touching that rubber when he's getting. That's what the angle he wants to create for the movement. I mean, that's the bare minimum right there. That shows you the balance he has.
28-year-old delivers one pitch. That's taken low. Check straight from the 122.
A lot of movement, but maybe the barrel will stay behind the plate.
On a 1-2 pitch.
Oh,
He was sending it back to the dugout, thinking it was strike 3.
that looked like a strike, and Schwarber was actually walking out of the batter's box.
Besides the one guy whose opinion matters.
Wow. I mean, this is
Where was that pitch?
Not a song. This is not a song, but this is. He's like, okay, all right. He better swing, I think, on this next pitch if it's close.
All right, so a gift for Schwarber. Can he take advantage? On 2-2. That's ball 3. That is the first curveball from Framber Valdez. Only 12 of the 42 curveballs he threw in Game 2 were in the strike zone, but the Phillies chased half of them.
Yeah, they did. And that's how good it is, and that just speaks to him. And he's got to shake that off. He can't let this affect him.
Here's the payoff. And he winds up walking Schwarber. So perhaps a key call in the first plate appearance of the game, and instead of a strikeout, it's a walk.
Well, and I know,
you know those bad calls, man, can bite you in the ass real quick.
Knows that's a strike, and you put it to bed already. And he was able to really. He made some good pitches.
That ball is right down the middle.
But you got to make a couple good ones. He let that one out of the zone, and then this one inside. But you cannot let this snowball into a big inning. This is where experience will pay off of having gone through certain things before.
And that is where Framber Valdez says the biggest growth has been his ability to move on from things that don't.
Reese Hoskins looks like a double play ball. And it is. Nice double play.
Framber Valdez needs just one pitch to erase it.
And with Schwarber going into Altuve as well to turn a double play. Nice play by the Astros to us.
And he good sinker, and all he can do with a good sinker is bounce it to a defense that's outstanding, and that's an outstanding double play.
They've been tracking ground ball rates for 35 years.
Nice. Nice turn. Nice turn.
Ground ball rate for a starting pitcher since they've been tracking those things. The Phillies in Game 2 only hit 3 balls in the air. So a lineup that's relied on home runs for a lot of the season, they're facing the guy that limits them better than anybody in the sport now.
Well, this last at bat that JT had in his last game, they're hoping that translates into a more typical at bat.
I gave him that little strike now.
To go the other way, and he did. It almost helped him come back in that game.
That click of the bat, sometimes the sound, the feeling can get a hitter going, but it's the approach that'll get him going, and that last at bat was really good.
The issues we're talking about, Realmuto's 1 for his last 17 with 11 Ks.
And again, we talked till this guy, you got to believe that catching every game, just a battle he's been through has affected him a little bit offensively. Something has to give.
Here's the hero in Game 1 here. Tied the game with a double, won it with a homer. On a 1-1 from Valdez, Realmuto shoots it down the line. Foul 1 and 2. 97 from Valdez.
Yeah, again, this will be the game that he has extra day rest, right? I mean, he's ready to go. His sinker's good. The touch is there. He passed the first test of a tough at-bat to lead off the game. Got a double play ball. But he is juiced up, no doubt.
Home with a 1-2.
Valdez already got 11 pitches in the first inning. Not bad.
The reason we talked about in the open why it's so important for 2 and 3 of the Phillies is they got to get on for that guy. There hasn't been a lot of action for him, and the Astros have pitched him perfectly, but the reason they can do that is nobody got in front of him for the most part.
And the Phillies had 7 runs in Game 3, the game where they tied a World Series record, hitting 5 homers, but just 2 runs in 2 games since. On a 2-2 pitch, Realmuto takes ball 3, and actually that hit him.
And it hit him. So Harper's coming up.
And so they do get somebody out in front of Bryce Harper.
Well, this will be interesting with 2 outs. They faced each other, obviously, in Game 2. You see the curveball that catches the top of his foot. When he faced Harper, he threw him a lot of fastballs early and got him out with curveballs late. So will Bryce be ready for a fastball on this first pitch, if that's the same game time?
He's hitting .373 this postseason. The only game during this postseason when Harper didn't reach base was the one against Valdez. First pitch. Got a fastball. Grounded in right side.
Oh, nice play. Woo! Defensive plays by the Astros in the first inning to get out of it. Nice play by Bregman and Altuve to turn a double play. And then nice play by Jeremy Pena to get out of the first inning. Astros are coming up in the bottom of the first, no score. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button if you haven't already. We are watching Game 6 of the World Series, Astros and Phillies at Minute Maid Park. Astros win tonight. World Series over. Astros win the World Series second time in 5 years. And the Phillies go home with a consolation prize. But, hey, listen, if you're a Phillies fan and you don't win the World Series, it was a hell of a playoff run for you guys. And you can't – yeah, you'll be mad, of course, but when it's unexpected like that, it was fun while it lasted, to be honest with you guys. But you know what? It's only the first inning. So, but again, this is what I was saying with Valdez. You know, he buries the ball down in the zone. You know, you're going to hit the ball on the ground. It's very hard to get underneath that ball, right? You're always going to get on top of that ball and hit a lot of ground balls. He's a ground ball pitcher. And, you know, with a couple of guys in the Phillies lineup that are home run hitting guys like Schwarber, like Harper. For the most part, Real Muto lately as well. It's not easy to lift the ball against Valdez, and that's going to be the problem with the Phillies trying to hit Valdez. But also, Zach Wheeler has a very, very heavy ball that he throws as well. He throws bowling balls up there. It's not easy to lift a ball on him either. But like I said, I think Wheeler and Valdez is going to pitch well. It's just a matter of who's going to get that first run. I think that first run is going to bring a ton of momentum to that team, and it might actually put them over the hump. And in the Astros case, it might win them a World Series. In the Phillies case, it could take them to a Game 7. And in the Game 7, no way you can predict that. Anything can happen in the Game 7. Everybody will pitch. Managers will be making tough decisions throughout that game. But who will get the first run of the ball game, I think is going to propel that team to win. I think it's going to be too much of a momentum to take away and for the other team to get that momentum away from the team that scored first and win the ball game, in my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. The Astros are coming up. Altuve, Pena, Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Vasquez, Mancini, McCormick, and Maldonado is the starting 9. Wheeler is on the mound. Bottom of the first, no score.
Phillies made it to the World Series, but his World Series debut wasn't the same.
Once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. And if you're a new subscriber to the channel, say what's up. And let's watch and listen to the game while we give our perspective during the game. If you're a Phillies fan, Astros fan, say what's up. Let me know what you're thinking. You're nervous? You're worried? Let me know. But don't forget to hit on that like button, everybody. Let's go.
95 in Game 2. Here's the guy you were talking about that was the first inning ambush. Altuve doubled in the first pitch of the game and came to the score one pitch later. 1-1 at 98.
Wheeler throws one high at 98. Now remember, this is Wheeler's first playoff performance. Remember, when the Mets made the playoffs in 15 and 16, he wasn't a part of it coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Watches the score 99 and it's 1-1. And Altuve to you looks like he's back to being himself.
Yeah, he's hit some mistakes, which has got him going. But if you stay outside, you got to make him still beat you to right field. If you're any pitcher in the game today, make him beat you to right field.
Nice pitch. Nasty curveball.
I would think the breaking ball comes out a little earlier than normal for Wheeler. He likes to put that in his back pocket and show it later. But right now, he's pitching every inning as if it's his last inning because they're in an elimination game. And he knows it and wants to go as deep as he can without his manager taking him out.
Home with a 1-2 pitch.
Woo!
98 and a good sign.
Strikeout. Nice pitching by Wheeler. Getting Altuve out rather quickly. But let's be honest, Altuve hasn't really done much in the postseason. But nice pitching by Wheeler right there. Would anybody be shocked that Jeremy Pena is the MVP of the World Series? He's played extremely well in this postseason.
3-hit game in Game 5. He hit his 4th home run of the postseason. He's hitting .381 in the World Series. And he's making a push to become the first rookie position player ever to win World Series.
He has, but Alien, that's the difference when you really see a really, really good team that could possibly win a World Series. If the Astros win a World Series, that's a ground ball, should be an easy out. And it is 2 quick outs for Wheeler. That's how you see how good the Astros are. Altuve, who, let's be honest, is one of their best players, played horrible in the postseason. And they can win a World Series without Altuve basically doing anything. And even Alvarez, for that matter, besides like the first 2 series, or at least the Mariners series, he really didn't do much. And the Astros can still win a World Series despite that. The Phillies can't win if Harper and Schwarber don't hit. The Astros showed you that they can win in many other ways. Uh-oh. That's going to stay in the ballpark. And what a quick inning for Zach Wheeler. 7 pitches to get through the Astros 1, 2, 3 and going to the top of the second. No score. So that's exactly what I expected from Wheeler. Wheeler's that type of guy. Jesus, these bots. So annoying. That Wheeler is that type of pitcher that, usually he struggles in the first inning or two, and then he finally finds he finds his level ground, and that's when he starts pitching well. But man, he does look good right now. So that's how it is. But once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. If you're new to the channel, say what's up. Don't be shy. We are possibly one game away from free agency of Major League Baseball 2023 to get going tomorrow at 9 a.m. If the Astros win the World Series, 9 a.m. tomorrow is when teams can talk to their restricted free agents exclusively for 5 days. After that, they become unrestricted, and then anybody can start talking to them. So we're going to have a busy week here on the channel. We got a lot to talk about. We got the Mets Talk Live. Monday, we got Mets Hot Stove on Wednesday. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is all MLB free agent frenzy, talking about all of Major League Baseball and all the players that are free agents. I will be doing a video of the top 20 free agents and where I think what team they're going to go on. And that's what I'm going to be doing probably by the end of the week when free agency officially starts. Because if the World Series ends today, that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is day 5. So Friday will start the first day of MLB free agent frenzy, considering the fact that all teams can talk to all players and vice versa. So once again, World Series ends tonight. 9 a.m. tomorrow starts free agency, but teams can only speak to their players who can potentially be free agents. They got that exclusive right. The Yankees with Judge, the Mets with 30 freaking players, it seems like. But I would not be surprised if you see the Mets sign Edwin Diaz within that 5-day grace period, in my opinion. We will see, and hopefully that does, because that's one of the guys the Mets have to sign in Edwin Diaz. And once we got 109 in the stream right now. Once again, guys, hit on that like button. And if you're new to the stream, new to the channel, say what's up. Let me know where you're from. If you're a Philly fan or an Astros fan, let me know how you feel right now. It's even first inning. Let's see what the top of the second brings. Here we go.
Get around the leadoff walk in the first inning, and he's at the dirt with a curve to catch Astros.
So far, it's been a decent approach by the Phillies, meaning Valdez has thrown now 5 curveballs, none for strikes.
Rarely do you get back-to-back takes from this one. That remains the case. And so when you see those numbers, John, that he really is in the zone with his curveball.
So Wheeler took 7 pitches to get out of the first, and Valdez took 13 pitches to get out of the first.
The beauty of his curveball, it's in the zone a long time, even though it ends up out of the zone. It'd be one thing if he spiked a lot of them and they just were so aggressive swingers.
3 straight curves.
A lot of curveballs from Valdez early.
He just has such great feel, and the way that he throws, he's the short striding, kind of over the top. Great feel for pitching. He just puts the hitter in a defensive spot because there's nothing mediocre about his pitches that you could sit on.
Home of the 1-2. It's 4 straight curves. Castellanos bounces that one.
Ooh, foul ball.
And he was going to reach, had that been fair.
That's about as close.
Quick call by the umpire, nice and loud. Everybody heard it.
See this ball last second. He's got hook spin, fair right now, fair, and then right before the bag.
That was close.
Good call.
Yep, foul ball, just foul. Woo.
Dan, that is showing you with conviction.
Yeah, and you're getting blocked out by Bregman, so great call there. Well, the job. It's a tough job. Nothing really super confrontational.
Another 1-2 pitch.
Strike three call. Nice pitch. The lower part of the zone is getting called for strikes now where Valdez lives. 1 out.
Astros defense here for Game 6. How about the play Chas McCormick made in Game 5 in Philadelphia? Played by Alvarez and Tucker. Bregman and Pena left side of the infield with Altuve and Mancini. For Trey Mancini, his first start at first base since October 5th. He hadn't played first base, period, since October 5th when he came off of the bench for Gurriel.
Boogie Woogie, I think we all hope so. Well, most of us. Except for Texas Liberty.
One away, Alec Bohm.
And the first hit of the ball game
First hit of the game for the Phillies.
goes to Boom.
Here comes from Alec Bohm with one away.
Nice line drive hit up the middle. First hit of the game goes to Boom.
Well, he got a fastball, and it was down, and he went down with it right up the middle. And that's the approach you got to have. Easier to
There you
say
go,
than
Boogie
done
Woogie.
when you come up with game plans on paper, execute them totally differently.
A man aboard for Gene Segura who takes a strike, and the Phillies are hoping that his two-hit performance in Game 5 is a sign of things to come. He was 1 for his previous 17. He's been struggling against fastballs, got both those hits in Game 5 against Tigers. 1-1. Stop Maldonado. The Astros are 1 away from the second World Series with the recent cautionary tale of 2019 when they were in the same position. Came back home with a 3-2 lead over the Nationals, and the Nats took Game 6 and 7. One and two. The Phillies, they've built their whole identity on coming back within the season from 8 games below 500 to reach the postseason. Within games, this postseason's dotted with comebacks. Most recently, Game 1 of the World Series from down
1-2 count. Coming to Segura. Man on first. 1 out.
Facing elimination. The fighting Phils do it one more time. Valdez to Segura with a 1-2. It's a late swing to send that one foul. We're talking about this umpiring crew. It's done a nice job in this World Series. Lance Barksdale gets home plate today with crew chief Dan Isonia out on the third. Out of the Phillies order, trying to get it done here. Runner at first, one gone, 1-2 pitch. Segura.
Ooh, just fouled that curveball off.
Segura, as we talked about, just so short and quick to the ball. Doesn't look like it's something you would teach most hitters, but man, does he get it done. And he can find the barrel and get a lot of base hits.
In a lot of ways, he's kind of embodied these Phillies this year. Flawed, good fun, and more you add it all up, the good outweighs the bad when it comes to Gene Segura with this Phillies team this year. So again, it's been traded 4 times. Finally found himself on a postseason team here in his 11th year.
Yeah, Knicks are not looking good. But they're not better than the Celtics, so I'm not shocked.
Second inning. 1-2 pitch, and it's in the dirt for ball 2.
That side of the plate really pulling this breaking ball. We've seen already a hit batsman on the foot. We've seen a lot of them missed in that area. He also has the capability of backdooring that pitch, but he's completely connected to it. And of course, he can throw that slider A little firmer pitch.
Alien, I think it would be time.
They're laying off the big breaker.
He has loved that big breaker, that curveball this postseason. More than 40% of his pitches have been the curve. Here's another 2-2.
Oh, what a curveball. Strike 3. That curveball is working tonight for Valdez. 2 outs.
About the backdoor variety, even though that caught the middle of the plate, it started out and up. And when it comes out of your hand right there, the hitter's saying that's a ball. There's no way that's coming back down. Too late to pull the trigger. And he can get those calls when he's spinning it and not spiking it. He's going to get a lot of strikes and strikeouts.
4 strikeouts on that curveball. Didn't he curveball in baseball this year? 2 out, second inning, Matt Fearley. Playing time in the postseason has been hard to come by. He starts against left-handed pitchers. He's gone 2 for 12. 1-0. Fearley, 26 years old, out of St. Louis. Debuted late last season, performed well. This is his first full year in the major leagues. So really got it going down the stretch. Another 1-0 from Valdez. Fearley takes ball 2.
What's up, Joe? No more end the lockout?
Bowman first, 2 on the plate. Low for ball 3. Robert Valdez, who has started 3 games this postseason. The Astros have won all 3. They're 1.42 ERA. Very few moments where he's been at all out of sync. Left-hander in his 5th year.
I agree, Joe. Ball 4.
4-pitch walk to the 8-hitter Fearley.
30 pitches.
Issued by Valdez.
2 outs, first and second.
Well, it's been an incredible series, and you still have a chance to win $25 grand at Big Papi's Money tonight. All you need to do is pull out your phone at the Free Super 6 app now, and then enter your 6 picks for tonight's game. Outputs at first and second for the Phillies. John, they, throughout this postseason run, have been really good with runners in scoring position until late inning, where they've gone 1 for their last 23.
Yeah, they hit a dry spot at the wrong
So
time.
Seltzer is up with 2 on, 2 outs for the Phillies in the top of the second.
A ton of breaking balls. I mean, almost every pitch, with the exception of 3, were curveballs. So see if he stays with that same plan. Sosa, bigger, longer swing. And if he gets a curveball up in the zone, that's the one he can do the damage.
Bowman second, Fearley in first.
I agree, Joe. Would be nice.
Sosa. Got a first pitch fastball and fouled it off. Now, there was some thought early on in this World Series that against the lefty, against Valdez, Bryson Stott was going to play. But since then, Stott's gone 0 for 13 during the World Series. So Rob Thompson does what he's done the rest of the postseason, and that is go for the platoon advantage here. 0-1. A breaking ball off to left center.
That might be gone. Oh, wow. Just missed. Oh, wow. 3 outs. Verlander already had it off the bat, and the ball just missed the wall, and Alvarez makes the catch. Wow. Verlander already had that, but they do not score in the top of the second. Now we're going to the bottom of the second. No score. Wow. I don't know if he thought he got it in the Crawford boxes, but clearly the ball just right of it, and Alvarez catches it at the wall. That could have been a 3. Well, you know what? It wasn't going to be a home run.
If it bounced off the wall, definitely 2 runs. So that took 2 runs away from the Phillies right there. And, oh, man, that's gut-wrenching. But you know what the Astros have done in situations like that? They would come back right in that inning, the next inning, in the bottom of the second, and they'll probably score. Joe, free agency opens. If the Astros win tonight, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, teams can speak to their own players who are going to be becoming free agents for 5 days. They get exclusive talking rights to those players that are currently on your team. So basically, the Yankees can talk to Judge, Benintendi. The Mets can speak to DeGrom, Bassett, Carrasco, Walker, Nimmo, Diaz, all those guys. Lugo, Ottavino. So there you go. That's what I'm hoping for. World Series done tonight. Tomorrow we can talk about the first day of MLB free agent frenzy. Let's go. Well, Boogie Woogie, that's true. But every team in Major League Baseball can say what you just said about their teams, right? If the Braves didn't lose or didn't give up that big hit to if the Braves would have beat the Phillies 4 more times, the Mets would have never won the division in the first place or had that chance against the Braves the last week of the season. Every team can say that. But you know what? It also comes down, just because the Mets would have won the division, say Drew Smith would have won or pitched better those 4 or 5 games and the Mets win the division. Does that mean we're going to make the playoffs? Or, make the World Series? No. Because the Braves won the division, they lost to the Phillies. The Dodgers lost to the Padres. So, you can't really look at it that way. Because every team can say, look back for 4, 5, 6 games out of the year and said, if we would have won those games, well, as you can see, it doesn't matter what you do during the season. It's a matter when you get hot at the right time, like the Phillies did. I'm sorry, Sosa, that was the one that hit it. Excuse me, not Verlins. Yeah. All right, Bregman's up. Well, you know what? That helps me tonight because you guys know I work overnight. So, going in at 1 o'clock in the morning ends up being midnight. So I get an extra hour. I'm happy about that for one night. Bregman ground ball. Nice and easy. 1 out. Excuse me.
Well, Sosa got the drill that I was talking about, and it looked like for a minute this collective crowd held their breath as the big left fielder put the ball in his glove, and that was close to a huge
Excuse me.
game. He's watching.
Yeah, but just think of it that way. You can't think of it like that because those moments means, even in the playoffs, like even though Scherzer and Bassett pitched like crap, the Mets didn't hit in those 2 games. So it wouldn't have mattered. Hayden, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Joe, I was saying it earlier. I think Diaz is going to sign within the 5-day grace period. I think the Mets, Diaz wants to come back. The Mets need him. I think they're going to get it done. Expect a deal like a 5-year, $100 million going to Diaz. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a video for the projections or the expert predictions about what each Mets player would get, or at least the big 5 that we know about. DeGrom, no. DeGrom's going to push it to get unrestricted free agent. He's going to talk to other teams just to make it a little interesting. I mean, maybe. You never know. Because according to the counter, DeGrom wants to be here, so I don't know. Wheeler is sharp early.
He's doing that. There's not a hitter in the universe that's going to be able to hit that pitch. And you've already seen what adrenaline and knowing that this is your last start of the year will do for you. The velocity's back to where it was before.
Commanding it as well. On 1-2. This is up and away. The other thing is he's actually thrown it because he trusted it so little in game 2 that He threw it less than he has in his 3 years with Philly.
Right, exactly. And you just saw one of the few times he gets underneath the ball. When you get underneath
Oh, that's cool, Joe.
shoot fastball, that's a non-competitive pitch. You can still throw it up.
That was the place you told me you worked at, right? You're working at, right now?
It is 2-2. Kessler foul. Another 2-2 from Zach Wheeler.
Tucker hits one. It might be gone. Foul ball. Hold it.
That breaking ball was a little late and a little flat. And he's lucky that Tucker pulled it foul. But this breaking ball is supposed to be down. See how it rolled in the strike zone? That long, majestic swing of Tucker looked the foul.
Yeah, I think DeGrom just wants to be paid. You know, seeing Scherzer getting $40+ million, there's no doubt about it. DeGrom's getting more per year than Scherzer. That's why he's opting out. I'll tell you that right now.
Zach Wheeler rocks and fires. They come to the back door and missed.
He tried to throw a backdoor cutter and catch the outside part of the plate. You see on the side of the ball, if that thing breaks a little bit more, it's got a chance to get the called strikeout.
Well, the guy you said you would circle in the lineup is really making it work. This will be the 8th pitch to Kyle Tucker. It's a 3-2. And it's a fast
Tucker fighting that ball off, working the count. Well, Joe, unfortunately, the Wilpons were like, nope, we're broke.
These fastballs. This is who Zach Wheeler is. His identity is power pitcher. And that's what he was over the first 4 games of the postseason when he struck out 25, walked only 3. Trying to find it again when his team needs it most. 9 pitches to the first 4 hitters, his 9th to Tucker alone. There'll be a 10th.
Tucker always put up good at-bats.
Tucker battling. The one thing he does is he does a lot of
Well,
movement.
he was a home run.
Timing.
Every time he seemed like he came up, he gave up a home run. That's true. But it wasn't why the Mets didn't go further. It was because they didn't hit. In the month of September, through the wild card series, they could not hit.
Now he'll get ready.
It's like a horse ready to take off. On the 10th pitch.
Inside ball.
Impressive stuff from Kyle Tucker and the
First base runner for the Astros, and it's Kyle Tucker on a walk.
This pitch should have been swung at. If you're Wheeler, you're going, I just painted.
You know, that's a pretty good. That's pretty good. Clean Gosher could go there.
Swings a lot, should have gotten it, but now we're going to work the bottom of the lineup and see if he can work through that.
And DH today, Christian Vasquez.
Ken bringing back all those guys. But you know what? I don't mind that, but I want Trey Turner. If we get Trey Turner, I'll be happy with bringing back those guys. If they bring back those guys and don't get a bat like Trey Turner or do something even bigger, then it's pointless.
His power stroke where he hit a lot of home runs. He still got that, but he tracks the breaking ball pretty well, especially down.
Yeah, Joe, that was the problem. The offense was the problem. They could not score. You know, we lost a lot of one-run games.
If you hit it well long, that means you can swing over the top when it bounces.
Tucker Bourne with one away. First one to Vasquez.
I don't mind Nimmo, but you have to do more with. If you keep Nimmo and get Trey Turner, I'm happy with that. But you can't sign Nimmo and then not get a guy like Trey Turner. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right, Adam. Wow.
Boogie, that's true. That is so true. Wheeler got 20 pitches in the bottom of the second.
Most of his strikeouts are going to be inner half, inner third. That's where he's going on the first pitch. Oh, it's over. Christian Vasquez,
Jason Bay.
two games in this postseason.
God, I don't want to remember that.
He knocked in two, and
That guy pissed me off.
leader in the World Series.
And you know what? Nobody can blame the Mets because he was the hottest,
Tucker first has good
the
wheels,
biggest
big
bat
stealer.
that was available, and the Mets got him. Nobody could have expected that he would be that bad as a Met. Oh, that's a double play ball. Could end the inning? Yes, it is. Nice double play by the Phillies. And the Astros do not score. Going to the top of the third. Phillies and Astros, no score. Pitching well so far. A lot of ground balls, which should be expected from Wheeler and Valdez. And they've been getting, both of them got big double plays to get out of the inning. See what happens in the top of the third. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. If you're new to the channel, say what's up. Let me know if you're a Phillies fan, Astros fan, or a fan of another team. If you are a Phillies or Astros fan, let me know how you're feeling right now. You know, no score right now. You know, it's still the first half of the game right now. So, you know, you're a little nervous because, you know, both had opportunities, but didn't get it done, didn't put a run across. You know, I can only imagine. I remember 2015 with the Mets. I was a nervous wreck throughout the whole game. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, the Giants are going to sign Aaron Judge. I'm telling you right now. The Giants are not going to – unless Judge wants to really be a Yankee, that means he'll take less to be a Yankee because the Giants are going to outbid the Yankees. And let's be honest, if you're a player whose hometown team wants you and you're going to get paid a ton of money, everybody wants to go home. And nobody can say, oh, you know, he wants to be a Yankee, you know, the pinstripes. Listen, the Yankees are a historical team, but the Yankees aren't the Yankees of the late 90s or, you know, it's not the same anymore, right? It's a new Yankee Stadium. It's not the old Yankee Stadium. You know, they retire everybody's number now, so it's not like that's a big deal. You know, yeah, if Judge becomes a Yankee, but again, Judge hasn't accomplished anything as a Yankee besides the home run record for the American League. That's it. Pass it, Maris. He hasn't got a Yankees World Championship yet. So if he never does, he's going to go down as a really, really good to great player that never got a Yankees World Championship. And again, I don't think the Yankees should sign Aaron Judge. I think if you're going to give Judge $350 million, why don't you use that $350 million to get 2 or 3 players for about that much, and you probably make your team better? Because he's not going to have another season like he did this year. So if anybody who signs him, the Mets, the Giants, the Yankees, he's not having another season like last year, like this year. So, you know, don't expect that. It's no matter who signs him. Oh, they're showing the Mets and Boston 86 with Buckner. That's awesome. That made me feel a little bit better. All right, Kyle Schwarber leading off, top of the order for the Phillies.
Well, guys, we've talked a lot about Kyle Schwarber's leadership. He and David Robertson, most postseason experience on the Phillies. They both spoke briefly to the team after Game 5, saying, guys, it's not supposed to be easy. Play our game 1 pitch at a time.
Yeah, this is a guy here in Schwarber County who's been in this exact situation before, of course, with the Cubs in 2016. They were down 3-1, and then eventually down 3-2 on the road for Game 6 and 7, and then went in there to Cleveland, and we all know how that went. And so passing on that experience. Walked his first time against Valdez, was issued 2 of those, and hit a batter. Schwarber out. Takes ball 2.
There's statements you always hear in the postseason that drive me crazy because they're not they sound good, but they don't live up to their, we got nothing to lose, the pressure's on them, our back's against the wall, blah, blah, blah. That's BS. Any team that feels that way usually doesn't come out on top. And on the flip side, you got 2 games at home to win 1. Now,
you really have one game at home to win one. Because if you go to a game 7,
Roberto, how you
it
doing?
can happen. So if I'm the Phillies, that's what I'm saying. Force a game 7, their advantage is gone. And that's why when you're up 3-2,
Well, Roberto, we're not talking about Justin Turner. Trey Turner is a different story.
Because you do feel
You know, everybody, when the Mets DFA Justin Turner, nobody expected him to be the guy that he became with the Dodgers. And yeah, Brando, that's a good call. Jock Peterson will be a nice DH situation for the Mets.
25 years ago. Yeah. 1997 Marlins against the Indians. Mercy manager Rob Thompson has gotten them this far. Schwarber starts the third. And it's strike 3.
Nice pitch by Valdez. Again, like I said, it's turning out to be that way so far. Valdez and Wheeler pitching very, very well.
Schwarber was looking for another pitch, didn't get it in the guessing game, and just got completely froze by the pitch on the outside. Going into this inning, Valdez had not thrown any four-seamers or change-ups. Look for that to change a little bit as far as that change-up coming into play as the game plays on.
And now back at that part of the order that you've pointed out, the Phillies have to have a shot. Strike out Astros.
Yeah, they've got to do anything. Walk, hit batsmen like Real Muto was able to do. But this part of the lineup is supposed to be the meat, and the offense clicks through Harper.
Yeah, and the announcer just said it. The lineup runs through Harper. If Harper and Schwarber do not hit, the Phillies have a hard time.
Something gets them.
I don't know what the hell that was on the channel.
Crack bat, an infield hit.
1-1 strike. Reese Hoskins takes a curveball. The Phillies can at least take some comfort or some hope out of the idea that Reese Hoskins' best games this postseason have come after his worst. And he's coming off an 0 for 5 game with 4 strikeouts.
Nice pitch.
We look back at the division series. There's a defensive play that cost him a run in a loss in Atlanta. He comes back and hits a 3-run home run. Championship series has another 3 strikeout game. Only to follow that with 3 home runs over the next 48 hours. He'll pick himself up again. He's looked at full.
Oh,
He's worked it full, but this is going to be a key. If he expands the strike zone here on 3-2, he's still got to stay disciplined. If you're Valdez, you think he's going to swing, you can throw anything you want if you think he's going to swing.
It's a fastball. It's bounced.
oh, another foul ball.
It's the second one. Right down there on that line.
Another one down the line, almost identical. Wow. That one. I mean, that is like an eighth of an inch.
Wow.
6 credit card.
I think that was a fair ball.
Yeah, and I have Sonya right on both. So Reese Hoskins will settle back in for another 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, I'll talk about Nimmo in a second after the inning's over.
Game 6. Phillies trying to force game 7. Astros a win away. Valdez turns and deals. Hoskins.
Now the strikeout. Woo! Valdez with that curveball, man.
Tremendous break from top to bottom, and if you're sitting at home, you have no idea how hard this pitch is to make up your mind thinking that's got to be a ball. I'm not going to expand the zone, and then it drops in for a strike. That's what makes him so tough, and that's why he keeps the ball in the ballpark, by the way. If you're sitting on that pitch, it's a different thing. Like, hey, I'm going to sit on the curveball. You see that, you might be able to hit it.
Curve misses to Real Muto. Last time Framber Valdez gave up a home run in this ballpark was July 3rd.
That's amazing.
Robert, no, I don't do hockey streams. I'm a Rangers fan, by the way. I don't do hockey streams. People want me to, but You know, people want me to do a lot of Knicks games, but again, it's hard for me to do Knicks games just because it's just not something that I'm extremely passionate about.
Debuted when he was 24. The first couple of years, though, wasn't like he showed up and was dealing. He had an ERA above 5 his first 2 years. He was back and forth between the big leagues and AAA. Didn't become a full-time starter until 2020. And now in his third year, All-Star for the first time. Getting their hopes up here in the World Series. His 2-1 pitch is a fastball for strike 2, and that is played up over the first few innings.
It's just amazing because he doesn't look like he could possibly throw 97 as effortless as he makes it look.
I agree, Boogie.
And the hitter, he's trying to get a mistake. He doesn't have many tonight so far.
Woo! Another strikeout. Strike out this side. There you go. Going to the bottom of the third. No score. So, when it comes to Nimmo, right? And I talked about this with Ken. I talked about this with Joe. 2 guys are big supporters of the channel. And I talked to them a lot outside the channel. What frustrated me about Nimmo. Now, Nimmo's best year was this year, of course, in a contract year. But when the Mets needed him most in the month of September, when Marte went down, his worst month offensively, statistic-wise, was in September. More strikeouts, average dropped 20 points, not a lot of walks, didn't get on base as much. When he did, you know, he never was a base stealer, so you can't expect him to do that. But what you expect from him was working a lot of counts. He was swinging at a lot of pitches early in the counts, and that's not what he does. And that was what frustrated me about Nimmo so much, because I think Nimmo is a dynamic player when he is right offensively. When he is struggling, he doesn't take a lot of pitches. He doesn't get a lot of walks. You know, he'll bat 270, 280. But when the Mets needed him most, when Marte went down in September, he had his worst month of the year. And you can't have a guy who is at the top of your lineup, your leadoff hitter. Now that you don't have Marte to pick up the slack, Nimmo was the center of attention, was focused on him. And it just came to the fact that that's what pissed me off about Nimmo the most. Now, again, I am not saying that the Mets should not sign Nimmo. But here's the problem. I don't know if the Mets should sign Nimmo for what he probably will get. You know, they're projecting him well over $100 million, like around 125. That's risky to me. But either way, now, if you tell me the Mets sign Trey Turner and put him in center field, I probably like that a lot more, because Trey Turner is a dynamic leadoff hitter. He's got some pop. We know when he gets on base, he will steal bases. And then putting Marte behind him is an excellent 1-2 punch. And if I'm going to spend between $120 and $180 million, I'd rather give it to Turner. All right, bottom of the third, Mancini up, no score.
Baker's message to Mancini: go be aggressive. Is strike 1.
Aggressive with fastball at 99. Hey, when we get a chance, I'm going
to Steve, thank you, buddy.
Braden Scott. He's dealing with some tough stuff. Young boy, diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Originally from Houston, big baseball fan. We're pulling for you and praying for you, young man.
The 1 pitch to Mancini is...
Well, Chris, you know, a Fugazi no-hitter or not, it's the World Series. The Astros won the game. The no-hit is irrelevant. Even if it was a 1-pitcher hitter, who cares?
His whole focus was on beating cancer. He wasn't thinking about
Joe, but I think Turner's worth it, though, to be honest with you.
Still didn't feel real at this point.
Put it this way.
In a tough spot,
Let me just wait for the pitch.
third. Here's an 0-2.
In my opinion,
That's where he's been really vulnerable.
would I rather, if it came down to giving Judge or Turner that contract, I'd rather give it to Turner. He's a little bit younger, a couple of years younger, and I think he fits the Mets a lot better than Judge does.
Outside with a fastball.
Turner, I think, is 28, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
One strikeout, one walk, no hits against Zach Wheeler so far.
He's 29 years old. So he's
2-2.
2 years younger than Judge.
Mancini's still alive, but the bat's not.
Yeah, Correa's opting out. But I don't think the Mets are going to get Correa because he's predominantly a shortstop. Maybe he can play third base. You know, if you can put him, you know, get him to play third base. I like Correa as well. But I still want Turner.
Big time baseball in this ballpark in recent years. Fourth trip to the World Series in 6 years. Trying to win it all for the first time since 2017.
Mancini putting together a good at bat here.
Mancini's got a new bat. Waits on this 2-2.
And he got a base hit. Nice hit by Trey Mancini. First hit of the postseason for Mancini. It's a guy you can root for, coming through with the colon cancer and getting through it.
Really surprised Wheeler after throwing one breaking ball. Didn't go back to another breaking ball. And that fastball, he was able to get to it and at least hit it the other way. So an already bonus for the Houston.
I don't think Correa is going to get $300 million. I think he'll get around $200 million.
Sigh of relief for Trey Mancini. Only
all right.
Because
Astros got the leadoff man on. See what they can do in the bottom of the third.
Now Chaz McCormick takes ball one. McCormick, one of the heroes of Game 5, with a defensive play that not many people had any business making. McCormick happens to be at his best, going back into his left, and that's where he had to go to make the catch of his life. Robbie and JT Realmuto, extra bases in the ninth inning.
The only thing is that Carlos Correa is only 27 years old, so you know, giving him a 10-year deal is not that bad of an idea either. But he has to play third base if he's a Met.
He broke his bat as well. So
Chris, because I think they're delusional to think that they can keep him, that they can extend him. But you know what? If they can't, they're going to try to extend him in this offseason. If they don't, they're going to trade him at the deadline this year.
13-year-old when the Phillies lost the World Series to the Yankees. And one of the fans that was sitting there looking back at him got this picture of the imprint.
Yeah, Boogie, he wasn't good. Surprisingly, Mancini wasn't good when he got traded.
Astros, you're hoping the same result happens here. One broken bat by Mancini.
But he was one of the guys I wanted.
Broken bat here by McCormick.
I am. That's very easy. I want the Astros because I don't want to see the Phillies win. Space City, what's up, buddy?
After that catch, he says it felt like a dream. Felt like forever that he was laying there before he got up. Soaking it all in. The city that he's from. With that new bat, swings and misses. And we go down.
Chris, I don't think so. Because there'll be more teams going after him. You know, maybe, you know, that surprise team that thinks that they only need Ohtani to get over the top, they might pay a lot more. You know, did anybody think Aroldis Chapman was gonna get the number one prospect in the Cubs system? You don't know. You know, so you just never know. It only takes one team to think that's the only player they need to put their team over the top.
They did last season.
Alien, exactly.
For the better part of his 2 years in the major leagues. At one point this summer was getting sent down to AAA. They called him back because of an injury. And he has seized center field here in this postseason run. On a 2-2 from Zach Wheeler. He takes ball 3.
Zach now has to make his first pitch of the game because
Zach Wheeler struggling just a little bit right now with location. Another full count
and the recipe for
at the bottom of the order for the Astros. Not
top 5 guys have really
the top part of the order you want to be messing around with.
Zach has to go through.
We need to get those out there.
For Altuve.
And CD single. Now McCormick on 3-2.
Oh, ooh, that was a dangerous play by Will Wheeler. The bat was coming right after him. He almost threw that ball away too, but got the lead. Got the lead runner at second. 1 out.
So survive and then make the play.
Goes right over your head. He has the presence to pick it up. You can understand the throw is not perfect because he's got a bat flying over his head. And he's able to make that play. Great pitch, great concentration, and almost double.
That's not an easy play. Jeez.
He's going to have enough wood for a bonfire here. So he's broken 3 bats in these 2 last at bats. So he does get the first out. Now the 9-hitter, Maldonado.
Maldonado has twice been able to have a hit-and-run / base hit to right field when a runner's been on first and in motion.
Strike 1. 36-year-old in his 12th season, looking for his first ring. McCormick off first as the 0-1 comes home from Wheeler. Maldonado takes inside 1-1.
You can see Wheeler really trying to get inside to most of these hitters. That's where he likes to throw his two-seamer. He's got great action in there, and that is why we're seeing some broken bats as well.
Steve, no. Syndergaard is not the same pitcher, and he's an average pitcher at best. The Phillies couldn't wait to get him out of the game yesterday. Kept him in 1 inning too long. They didn't want him to go through a second part of the order, but because he pitched decent the first 3, it bit him in the ass in the 4th. Ground ball is going to be a tough play. And he gets him at first base. Maldonado is very slow. 2 outs, but a runner is in scoring position for the Astros with Altuve coming up.
Understandable for Maldonado, who's squatting behind the plate, and then you're asking him to beat out an infield hit. Good credit to Bohm. He took his time, didn't really have to feel like there was a panic, bare hand throw and get him out. Just barely got him out.
All right, so runner in scoring position for Jose Altuve. And John, one of the more stunning stats of this postseason is that even as Altuve has gotten it going lately, he still does not have it.
See if Altuve can finally do some damage in the postseason. Altuve, in these type of spots, clinchers, man, he does the job. Let's see if he can get it done here.
Altuve struck out his first time. After starting this postseason 1 for 28, he's hitting .346 over his last 5. Longest tenured Astro, the face of this great run. Trying to put him in front in Game 6. He's ahead 2-0.
Uphill with those fastballs, 2 in a row now.
39 pitches for Wheeler in the 3rd. He's looked really wild in this inning for sure. Not getting that fastball over.
Takes 2 pitches in a bat in a row, get along 2. So see if Wheeler tries to spin something on the outside part of the plate with a base open.
Really got to be careful here. Altuve's gonna swing. Nice pitch. Pitch to lay off on the outside corner for sure.
He made an absolute perfect fastball on the outside part of the plate. A little cutting action on this one.
McCormick in second, 2 gone, 3rd inning, 2-1 pitch. Altuve
Another pitch down the middle he takes. Oof.
All fastballs. 2-2 on Altuve.
And you'll notice the last couple pitches, JT started out in and then moved away. See that? That's in case the runner's given location, so you kind of deke the location. The pitcher knows where it's going to be, and at the last second, the catcher gets to the desired spot. And 2 great pitches. Down in the count 2-0 now even.
Scoreless game here on thin ice with a 2-out chance for Altuve. Fouls it off.
Stays alive.
Taylor sticks with the hard stuff against one of the best in the game at hitting fastballs.
Steve, I would take a flyer on Conforto on a 1-year deal. To be honest with you,
We talked about that last
even if it is as a DH.
fastball's the first time at 14%. This are already at 42%, meaning that's he's thrown this 4-seam. He feels like he's got it back.
It's always thrown Altuve.
Strike 3 gets him out. Astros do not score in the bottom of the third, going to the top of the fourth. There is still no score. Nice pitching by Wheeler. Struggled a little bit with his location, but when he got to bear it down and get it done, he got it done. So, top of the fourth, no score. Like I said, guys, the pitchers are getting out of jams, getting it done, though, and still no score going to the fourth. So, getting closer to the middle half of this game, what do you expect the Game 6 clincher, possible elimination game from both teams? You know, I didn't expect a blowout here, that's for sure. Once again, guys, if you haven't hit on that like button, please do. And don't forget, guys, you can share this stream as well on your social media pages. And the same thing that goes for the channel itself. If you know Mets fans that you follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you can click on that share button and share it on your social media pages and get more people on the stream, on the channel. And that's what we're going to do throughout the off season as well. God, if I have to see another political freaking commercial, Jesus. Ken, I'm assuming you're watching TV right now. You see the commercial? Oh, boy. Well, who is going to get this first run? Looking like nobody wants to get that first run in. Yeah, I don't know that, but, you know. What are you going to do? In general, though, it's been all over the place, no matter what state you're in. So, you know, with the midterms coming up, the election and stuff on Tuesday, it's like nonstop. Well, just waiting for the commercial to come back, going to the top of the fourth. Phillies and Astros, Game 6, tied 0-0, no score. How about that, guys? All right, so see if the Phillies can get on the board or Astros get out of it and get up in the bottom half. Harper's leading off. Here we go.
Bryce Harper leads off. First pitch code, strike 1.
And from a game planning standpoint, of course, before the series, they said, look, Harper's the hottest guy in the universe. We got to take care of him. They, for the most part, have. Going into this game, 14 out of 21, we mentioned, he came to the plate with nobody on. Now, that might not seem like that much. That's a ton when you're talking about the fourth hitter in a lineup.
It's a little bit high, and we go down to Tom Verducci. Yeah, you might have noticed between each pitch,
The setup routine for Bryce Harper, always the same, touching the ground there. He started this, he told me, last year after he was hit in the face by Hennis Cabrera of the Cardinals on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a little meditative moment to get in touch with the ground and quiet himself.
On a 1-1, knees are buckled. 1-2. All spin so far from Valdez this time up. And that MVP of last year was that much more impressive when you consider that he had that happen a month into the season. He just overcome the fear that he must have felt. He came back better than ever. On the 1-2 pitch, Harper gets another breaker and takes it. Ball 2.
If Valdez wants to, we haven't seen many four-seamers, but to climb the ladder up with 2 strikes wouldn't be the worst pitch in the world after Harper's seen so many.
That's interesting in the World Series. 14 of 22 plate appearances with the bases empty for Harper. That's not what you want if you're the Phillies.
Yeah, there's not so many times in this postseason where he's seen this many non-fastballs at any point. 75% of the pitches that he's seen in this World Series have been fastballs. On the 2-2, Harper
Strikes him out. Nice pitch. 97. When he got a rare back, he gets it. Once again, if Harper and Schwarber do not hit on this Phillies team in a game, they struggle mightily.
Look at the movement. It's right down the middle, and it ended up being a ball, and Harper tried to get it before it got him, and no luck.
That is now 25 Ks for Framber Valdez in 15 innings against the Phillies over the last month. Strike on Castellanos. You figure that the more time...
Good old baseball. Nice little pitcher's duel. Missed those.
He's locked in. And what could have gotten him off the tracks?
Real baseball fans like pitching duels.
Kyle Schwarber, after a walk. Last year, maybe he wouldn't have reacted the way he reacted this year.
0-2.
Valdez looks good.
So much better mentally. All that work with the sports psychology staff, a lot of encouragement from his manager. This is one of the most important moments of his career. It was one of the first conversations he had with Dusty Baker when he was still trying to break in. And Dusty said, hey, you got a chance to be a big-time pitcher for us. I believe in you. Now you got to believe in you. It's 0-2.
Foul ball.
Well, the disparity between his slowest pitch and fastest pitch is pretty dramatic. Because, as I talked about, each hitter kind of gauges and time. They have their own timing mechanism. And when they think they've got something timed and it's by them, that messes with your mind. And it starts becoming a little defeated when you think, I had that time, but I had no chance. And he's messing with all the hitters' timing in a very important game.
0-2 to Castellanos. Back foot misses. 1-2.
Valdez does not give in at all. I love it.
It's a lot of separation right there. 78 to 94. But with the movement, he's got the velocity today, too. Shakes a few times. Step off.
19 miles. That's the spread between fastball and the slowest pitch.
It's 1-2.
Did he go? Oh, I don't know about that. That was close. Oh, he definitely. Oh no, he didn't go. 3 Good call, Blue. Good call.
Almost hit it on
Close. Valdez is having fun on the mound.
Again, I don't know that he'll do this, but could tie up Castellanos upstairs. Good low ball hitter. Will chase the curveball down. That's why it's enticing to do. And there you see it right there, just about 8 inches above the plate. But he would most certainly tie him up with any heater up above his belt and possibly beat him.
Here's his 2-2. Fastball, poked down the line.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he was late. He could have got it up higher, then that would have been more of the swing and miss. But now he's at least reset him. What I mean by reset him, he's got that area of the pitch up that he went and swung at down the middle. Now a breaking ball off that same height might entice a swing out of the zone here on a 2-2 count.
A pitch coming to Nick Castellanos. Scoreless 4th inning. Another 2-2 from Fernando Valdez is in the dirt.
Full count. Good at bat by Castellanos.
Started it too low, and he knows it. He still has an aggressive hitter on a 3-2 count, so you still don't have to just throw a strike here. He makes a better breaking ball pitch here on 3-2. It'd be hard for Castellanos to not want to swing at.
Payoff pitch.
Just stays alive.
But see what I'm
Nice
saying?
pitch.
That's a guy you put down on your scorecard and go, he doesn't want to walk right now. If he doesn't want to walk, I don't have to throw a lot of strikes. Now, he did get him to 3-2, so he's done something right. But that pitch was by far ball all the way, and he fouled it off.
How about Castellanos, though, John? Look at these long at bats.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer to the hitter that I think, again, next year is going to be a total different hitter for the Philadelphia Phillies.
He's a beast the last couple of years. Hit 34 homers, above 300 average last year with the Cincinnati Reds. Only 12 home runs in his first year with the Phillies, and none so far in the postseason. Another 3-2.
Oh, nice pitch. On the corner. Looked like a little inside.
Castellanos got to be careful here. Although he certainly has a case.
Yeah,
Looked inside, but he got the call.
Castellanos, taller hitter. He knows that that ball's down and possibly inside. But the little hesitation and fastball.
Yeah, that was off the plate, but he got the call.
He's going to go back and check that iPad.
Oh,
Be verified.
very close, but
An incredible
got the call.
5 strikeouts in a row.
But there you go, Castellanos said, that's why I swing all the time. Right? I'm patient, I have a good take, and it means I strike out.
2 up.
2 up, 2 down, 4th inning. Alec Bohm, who's got the lone hit of this game for the Phillies. Did it in the first pitch his last time.
I just want you guys to watch Maldonado, how he just is as a catcher. Pointing at the pitcher, communicating, talking, showing that energy, showing that enthusiasm. I love that. That confidence in his pitcher.
Yeah, Dusty Baker says
That's a good defensive catcher right there. Uh-oh, fly ball. Can't call for Tucker. 3 outs. All right, going to the bottom of the 4th. No score still. Look at that, guys. Here we go. Pena, Alvarez, Bregman. Middle of the order for the Astros. Can they get some runs in here? Put the Phillies out of their misery. Let's go. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. Let's go. Don't forget, guys, World Series ends tonight. Big week coming on this channel. Tomorrow, look for anything. I doubt anything's going to happen on a Sunday. Knowing that tomorrow would be the first official day of exclusive talks between players and their team who can potentially become free agents.
exclusive negotiating time period, 5 days. I doubt anything will happen on Sunday, but Monday will be very interesting. Monday, there'll be a Mets Talk Live, 5 p.m. Tuesday, MLB Free Agency. Wednesday, Mets Hot Stove. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be MLB Free Agency as well. So it's going to be a lot of craziness in those 5 days, seeing if the Mets or any other team in baseball sign their players to an extension before they become an unrestricted free agent. We shall see. But this channel is going to be rolling with free agent frenzy live streams throughout the offseason. The GM meetings, I think, are, if not this week, they're next week. Usually nothing happens during the GM meetings, but the winter meetings right before Christmas is going to be a lot of fun. I will be live during those times as well. So make sure you keep on coming back for more. The offseason is always interesting. Now that the Mets actually have an owner that actually will spend money, it gives Met fans hope that they can re-sign the players they want to re-sign and still go out there and pick up. Will they be in on Aaron Judge? Will they try to go after Trey Turner? Will they go after Carlos Rodon? Will they re-sign Bassett or Walker or giving a big contract to DeGrom? So much to talk about with the Mets, and I can't wait to do that as soon as this damn World Series is over. Can't wait. Can't wait. Let's go. But the Astros are coming up in the bottom of the fourth. No score. Again, like I said, guys, I think the first team to put a run up on the board, they're going to take that momentum right into the end of the game and win the ball game. That's the way I'm predicting right now. 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts for Wheeler. 4 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts for Framber Valdez. Pitching well from both starters right now. I'm telling you, the first run of the ball game is going to take that team over the top. That momentum is going to crush the other team. Jeremy Pena leading off. Bottom of the fourth, no score. And gets a base hit. Leadoff base hit for the Astros. Pena. Astros win the World Series. He's going to be the MVP of the series. 2 for 2 today. Here we go.
Delivering as if he's a 10-year veteran. Ball's up. Gets on top of it.
He's got a hit in every game in this World Series. It's a 7-game hitting streak back to the last game of the championship series, and this kid has continued to answer every question every step of the way. He's on to open the fourth. Jordan Alvarez is at the plate.
See if one of the big bats can get going here. Alvarez is up. Hasn't really had a good postseason, but it only takes one swing of the bat to get him going.
You got to keep him quiet. They have kept him quiet so far.
Homered in each of the first 2 games of this postseason run for the Astros. They might not be here without him. They might not get out of the division series without him.
Popped it up.
He's given him hardly anything since. Pops this one in the shallow center for Sosa.
Big bats are struggling for the Astros. Alvarez and Altuve just struggling. Bregman's the only one that's been hitting in this playoffs from the big guys in the middle of the lineup.
I did it, but I blew it. Yeah, a little different as a pitcher in a pop-up bunt, but no one ever does that anymore just because I think the fear factor of, somehow that guy gets on.
Well, down in game 2, Zach Wheeler did settle in after they ambushed him in the first inning, and then in the 5th, this guy here, Alex
Bregman coming up with 1 out, 1 on.
Six of those in the World Series in his career.
Woo! Bregman was on that one, missed it.
Done a great job, and it's kind of flirting with fire. But when you're so good at throwing the ball in against a hitter who's so good at damage in, he's almost messing with Bregman's mind because no one pitches him like that. So if you're good in or third, you get them aware of the pitch, weigh in, and say, I can beat you in where you're really good. But so far, Wheeler's been able to do that.
So nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody throws me fastballs in here.
Another fastball. Laid on both of them. Right down the middle.
Bregman doesn't swing and miss a lot in the strike zone. I mean, it's under 10%.
You can see Bregman is guessing there. Looking like both times he was looking for a breaking ball. And he got 2 fastballs right down the middle and was laid on him.
Reached base all 12 games this postseason. They hit first one gone in an 0-2 pitch. Bregman fouls it off.
Now that one he got away with. And Wheeler kind of turned to the side.
Wheeler tried to blow it past him, but Bregman that time was like, oh no.
Right down the middle. Lucky he got this one back. See how he set up in, but that center cut. The velocity just beat Bregman with 2 strikes.
Wheeler tries again. This time a spinner.
Strikes him out. Nice curveball.
Third strikeout.
That was quick. Nice pitch.
The angle of which he delivers the ball makes this pitch even better because you're seeing 97, and then there's that side kind of swing and miss.
I don't know.
We don't see a lot.
You know, I think the Giants are very focused on Judge, but it would be smart to bring him back. But I think the Mets are going to go after Rodon, to be honest with you. I'm not sleeping, Ken. I'm just watching the game. All right, Tucker is up. 2 outs.
Again, when you're in these kind of spots in the World Series, you're just trying to get away from the guy's sweet spot. Like, you don't even mind giving up a hit right here if it doesn't score a run. But you just want to stay away from, obviously, the 2-out, 2-run home run. We're in a tight game. That seems like 4 runs just scored.
On verge of elimination to Boone.
And a ground ball should be the easy out. And it is. And the Phillies got out of it, and Wheeler gets out of it. And now we are in the top of the 5th, the middle of the game. Still no score with Wheeler and Valdez dealing right now. So, once again, guys, I keep saying it. 1 run is going to bring that momentum to that team. The first run, whoever scores that first run, I think it's going to bring that momentum right into the end. They're going to win that ball game. It just feels that is like that type of game. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to Talking Mets at Raw. We are here watching Game 6 of the World Series, Astros Phillies in Minute Maid Park. Still no score going to the top of the 5th. Wheeler and Valdez are dealing right now. You know, the thing that I'm more focused on is getting this World Series over with so I can talk Mets baseball for the offseason. So if you guys have any ideas or opinions or whatever you want to say about what I should do with the channel, or what do you want me to do more of, let me know in the comments, and we can talk about it and see if we can get that done during the offseason. Like I said, Mondays, Mets Talk Live. Wednesdays is Mets Hot Stove. And then the rest of the days are going to be MLB Free Agent Frenzy. Again, if there's any schedule changes, I'll let you guys know. But look for Edwin Diaz to sign in that 5-day grace period with the Mets. I don't think the Mets are going to even let him become a unrestricted free agent and let him talk to other teams. We shall say, and look, more political commercials. How nice. Jesus. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. So let's see. What are the Knicks doing? I saw they were down by like 5 points. Let's see what's going on there. Whoops. And they're down by 5 still with 4 minutes to go.
Waiting for the commercial to end. Wow, these political freaking commercials. My Lord. Oh, Jesus. One for the Democrats, one for the Republicans. Oh, Lord. And again, Jesus freaking Christ. Fox, you're killing me here. God. Can you please put on the baseball game? Jesus. My Lord. All right, it's back on.
No score, fifth inning, game 6. Phillies trying to force it, game 7. Astros on the verge of a title. Bottom of the order for Framber Valdez, who's retired 7 straight. 5 Ks in there. Gene Segura, showed one, and quarterback just in time.
Yeah, if you're the Phillies in this on the road, you got to win the first 5 innings. At least that's the way you would feel. And so far, even though they're not winning, they're winning the first 5 innings because it's tied. Their pitcher's matching Valdez. Now, if they're offense,
all right,
kind of
see if the Phillies can get something done here.
Well, lift that would be.
Segura grounds on
Ground ball. 2 outs.
One gone in this 5th for every home run hit this postseason. T-Mobile's donating $5,000 to Team Rubicon's hurricane recovery efforts. And when you text relief to 595959, T-Mobile donates another $5. 91 home runs hit this postseason.
Hi, Ken.
Ends up with $455,000 in donations for hurricane relief. Robert Valdez. Unique left-handed pitcher. Ground ball inducing sinker that's swinging his slider. Away with the first one to Matt Fearley.
Yeah, sure, Ken.
And speaking of unique, the only other left-handed pitcher to strike out 5 in a row in a World Series game, Sandy Koufax. Well,
Valdez got 70 pitches, so, can he go 6-7 innings with that pitch count? I think he can.
This 2-0. Strike 1.
Well, the mechanics again. I just fall in love with a guy who has clean mechanics for over the course of time. You repeat those mechanics, you shouldn't have trouble throwing strikes. Well, the only reason he has trouble throwing strikes sometimes is he's got such incredible movement on his pitches, and every once in a while he takes the foot off the gas with his sinker, almost as trying to get ahead without really firing that 2-seamer in the zone.
Should be 2 outs, and it is. Quick 2 outs for Valdez.
Is sponsored by Chevrolet, electric vehicles for everyone, everywhere. And by Indeed, we help people get jobs. Game 6 at 93. Phillies fans are not to be reminded.
Ken, do you go to spring training in February in Port St. Lucie?
2 quick outs in this 5th inning.
Because I'll be down there in February and then opening day in Miami.
Just missed a home run.
Sure did.
Sosa up.
20 feet left. It's gone.
2 outs in the 5th.
Jordan Alvarez, left fielder, caught it right against the wall, just beyond the Crawford boxes. Strike 1.
This is reminding me of Game 6 in '91, where Steve Avery dueled to a 0-0 game in our elimination game. We were down 3-2. Ultimately, we won in the 9th, 1-0. But when you have pitchers doing this right here, you know the hitters are feeling the pressure too, saying, man, just scratch a run and let our bullpen late go to work. All Avery did in that series was win 2 1-0 games.
Robert Valdez, the gem of his own, home with an 0-2 pitch. After he got rocked in both World Series starts last year, 5 runs in both games against Atlanta, failed to make it through the 3rd inning in the order. A year later, Game 2, 6 1/3, just 1 run. Game 6, 4 2/3, no runs. Only one hit against him.
2 strikes, 2 out, top of the 5th. Thank you, guys.
You wonder why pitchers throw balls back out? It's because they don't have the feel. Not every baseball is particularly the same. When you've had a baseball in your hand your whole life, you could blindfold every pitcher and you can know if it's oblong, if the stitching is too high, or what have you. And you can tell he's sweating pretty good just trying to get control over everything here and have another potential clean inning.
Here's 1-2.
Just stays alive.
Barely stays alive. You're talking about the mix of Valdez. This is why it's so hard to hit him.
Well, he's not very tall, but he throws tall. And what I mean by that is the ball comes out at that same slot. You have no idea. You have no idea right there until the end. You have no idea what it is, and you're trying to guess as a hitter. That's why they have a lot of swings and misses out of the zone.
Ken.
He's carving through.
And he strikes him out. Getting out of the inning. Going to the bottom of the 5th. Astros, Phillies, no score. Robert, there hasn't been anything noticeable at all. Again, at some point, people are going to start realizing that the Astros lose Correa, lose Springer, lose Cole, and still made the ALCS 6 years in a row and making the World Series a couple of times and winning one. All right, cheating, and then they possibly can win this one. So, for everybody's killing them with the cheating and everything like that, they lose great players and still find a way to make the World Series and possibly win another one. So, people could talk about it all they want. I said this before. Every team cheats. It's just a matter of how much they actually, who does it better, to be honest with you. Every team tries to find an upper hand. 2017 with the Astros was kind of crazy what they did, but, I mean, come on. They still got to hit the ball. They still got to catch the ball. They still beat teams on the road when they weren't using a sign stealing. I think people forget to talk about that when it comes to the Astros. They won games on the road when they had no way of stealing signs. So, remember, it was only on the road. I mean, at home when they were able to steal the sign. So, and they won a lot of road games in the postseason that year. So, and let's be honest, the sign stealing had nothing to do with the other team not hitting. Like the Yankees in the ALCS could not hit at all. The same thing with the Dodgers when the Astros beat them. The Dodgers could not hit in Dodger Stadium or in Houston. So it came down to the offense of the other teams as well. People want to go crazy with the sign stealing. Yes, it obviously helped them, but the other teams couldn't hit. So what did sign stealing have to do with them not hitting the other pitcher? So, but you know what? They probably cleaned it up. All the eyes are on them right now. But you know what? Losing Correa, losing Springer, losing Cole, losing other players, and they still find a way of being in the same spot for 6 years in a row, passing the ALCS, or at least being in the ALCS, and a couple of times in a World Series with one, possibly two by the end of the night. That's crazy. Yeah, Kendrick, I know. But you know what? What can you do? All right. Bottom of the 5th, no score. Bottom of the order, Vasquez is leading off.
Wheeler comes home. Strike one with the fastball.
Who's going to blink first? Either starter willing to either fake about the bullpen getting going.
Ground ball should be an out, and it is.
The first out of the fifth. Up comes Trey Mancini. We go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Baker's powers of observation are second to none. Late in Game 5, Trey Mancini to a 1-1 fastball for a strike. And Baker noticed that from his body language, Mancini was caught in between. The two talked about it today. Baker told him, trust your instincts, have a plan, stick to it. You see that conversation earlier today.
And after he started the postseason 0 for 18, a base hit, first one against Wheeler, his first time up.
If he gets 2 strikes again, I'll be shocked if Wheeler doesn't throw the breaking balls to get him to chase off the plate. Only one in that last at bat, and then he gave him a fastball that Mancini gladly touching first base. Euphoric feeling when you're struggling.
Deadline pickup from the Orioles. He takes by the hands in the 21. And just another
Robert, yes, I do.
Of Dusty Baker, who's been a manager for 25 seasons. Trey Mancini, one of the 558 players that he's managed. A lot of those guys look at him as either like a brother figure or a father figure. And so many people, those former players or opponents of his when he was a player.
Kendrick, probably.
Are pulling for Dusty Baker. The 1-2 to Mancini is fouled off.
You know what we're going to see Dusty Baker do in this game, I feel? He'll be in the far end of the dugout. If this team doesn't score in the next couple of innings, look for him to change some mojo. I've seen him go down there, change spots, whatever it takes.
Another 1-2. The day that he took the job in 2020, Dusty said, this is it. This is my last hurrah. This is my last chance to accomplish the goal.
Whoa, jail!
981st game as a big league manager. He's 1 win away. Closest he's been.
I am. They're not a dynasty. They've won 1 World Series. Yeah, they made the ALCS 6 years in a row, but a dynasty, you have to win a couple of championships within about a 5-year time frame. You win 3 out of 5 like the Giants did, that's kind of a dynasty. Nice pitch by Wheeler. 2 outs. You know, what the Yankees did, 4 out of 5, that's a dynasty. Winning 1 in 6 years, or even 2 in 6 years, that's, it's good. I mean, who wouldn't take that, but it's not a dynasty. You gotta remember, there hasn't been a back-to-back World Series champion since the Yankees 99-2000. That's 22 years ago. Why does it seem like this game is gonna... Somebody's gonna score a run on a home run, and the batter's gonna be somebody who doesn't expect it, like Chas McCormick or a Varians from the Phillies or something like that. How you doing, Joe?
The only thing you watch for when a pitcher gets a little fatigued is he starts getting a little...
Well, yeah, Joe, but you also have to win to be called a dynasty. Were the Braves a dynasty in the 90s when they dominated the division? No, because they have 1 World Series. The same. The Giants were the closest thing. Oh, that was quick. Going to the top of the 6th, no score. Dominating pitching by Valdez and Wheeler. But the Phillies, top of the order coming up in the top of the 6th. Valdez has close to 80 pitches. So if the Phillies don't have a quick inning, could possibly get him out of the game in this inning. And even though the Astros bullpen has been good, I think they'd rather see the bullpen rather than Valdez, who they cannot hit. 1 hit for the Phillies, 2 hit for the Astros. Pitchers duel in Game 6. Nice. Love it. Real baseball, guys. Real baseball. Pitchers duel. That's what I like to see. You know, the closest thing that we came to a dynasty like the Yankees was the Giants when they won 3 out of 5. That's the closest thing that we had to a dynasty. No, JL, a dynasty is what the Yankees did. 4 out of 5. You know, the Giants 3 out of 5. That's a dynasty. 2 out of 6 years. That's good. That's really damn good. But you know what? They made what? This is their 3rd World Series in 6 years? Or 5 years? Or 6, technically 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah. 6 years? You know, again, that's really damn good. I mean, but, you know, it's hard to say you're a dynasty when you don't win back-to-back. Like, that's tough. But again, you know, if the Astros win this year, that's 2 in 6 years. That's pretty damn good. Better than everybody else. You know, so it is what it is. No, exactly, Steve. You know, yeah, but the Dodgers made what? 2 World Series? So, you know, yeah, exactly. But, you know, I can see why people think that the Astros are like a dynasty. But again, just because you make the world, you know, are the Buffalo Bills, did they have a dynasty making the Super Bowl 4 years in a row? No, because they didn't win none. You know what I'm saying? Well, JL, you know, it's an accomplishment, but it's not a dynasty. Dynasty, you actually have a win a couple in a row or win, you know, 3 out of 5 like the Giants did. That's the closest thing to a dynasty that we had since the Yankees. You know, again, if they win 2 out of 6 and then next year they win again 3 out of 7, that's pretty damn good. Robert, I don't even think they made the playoffs, to be honest with you. All right, going to the top of the 6th, no score. Valdez has close to 80 pitches. How long is he going to pitch in this ball game? You know what? The Phillies still can't hit him. Pitch him. This is the game the Astros want. You never want to go through a game sin because you never know what can happen. Here we go. Top of the 6th, no score. Top of the order for the Phillies.
You would think in this inning right here, set up for the Phillies' best chance of scoring. And they really have
79 pitches for Valdez.
Valdez has retired 10 straight. His first one to Schwarber's in for a strike. A little tighter breaking pitch there.
Well, that's what he does. He has the ability to shorten it and make it big.
There you go, JL. Well, I can see why you want Philly to lose.
It's a 1. The Phillies' 2 wins in this series have reflected their season-long identities. Perseverance.
Yeah, isn't it LSU and somebody that's playing right now?
And for the Astros,
well, that Georgia-Tennessee game was just a waste of time. I actually thought Tennessee was going to actually put up a fight. Ooh, another nice pitch. Woo. Well, it doesn't have to be consecutive years to be a dynasty. Like the Giants, 3 out of 5 years is a dynasty. The Spurs were a dynasty because, yeah, the Spurs won what, 3 out of 6, I think it was. Well, JL, I talked about that all year, and a lot of Brave, not you, but a lot of Brave fans always kept on saying that it wasn't true. But Philly played well against the Braves all year during the season. They matched up perfectly against the Braves. That's why that series wasn't a shock to me that you lost. For some reason, the Phillies matched up really well against the Braves. Uh-oh. And it's gone. Kyle Schwarber with the home run. The first mistake Valdez made. Oh, that was a shot. Woo, there it goes. And a Philly fan caught it.
has been doing this throughout his career. Watch how quick this is. This is a sinker that comes back into the middle.
He swung early enough before that ball moved in the inner half.
Quick to the ball right there. And
yeah, man. How nice would it have been with Schwarber being that Mets lineup, huh?
Schwarber with his third home run in the last 4 games, his 6th in his last 11 games, and it's 1-0 Phillies in the 6th.
As I said, the first run of the ball game, it might pull that momentum to that team to win.
Looking twice, we got the benefit of a call that turned into a walk the next time he struck out. Well, whatever his game plan was, the third
He had him 1-2, and he threw a pitch right over the plate.
check that off as an execute.
Does it again in the postseason. Here's a soft bouncing ball outside. Bregman with a bare hand.
Oh, nice play by Bregman. Got him by a mile.
You got to be so quick on your feet. And this play right here is 1,000 times in his mind and in spring training, and it becomes a staple for most third basemen who are so gifted like Bregman.
I'm in the 12th, Ken. You missed everything.
One away in the 6th. Framber Valdez gives up a home run at home for the first time since July 3rd.
You know, people are talking about on Twitter about the pitch selection in that
You know what the best part about it? He didn't budge.
in that Schwarber at bat. He could not handle the breaking ball, and they threw him a fastball. I agree with that. Another ground ball right to Bregman. 2 outs.
Number 2.
Let's go back and look at this pitch sequence on Schwarber. And just first 2 times he had him baffled. All right, so he starts off with a hard breaking ball, throws a slow one.
3 breaking balls in a row,
That one right
and
there.
then throws a fastball.
He came right back with a breaking ball off the plate and the fastball. Inner third, and he turned on it and didn't let it come back.
Most experienced guy in the postseason on this Phillies roster. And he told us he addressed the team after they fell behind 3-2 in Philadelphia. The wisdom he picked up in his previous 6 trips to the postseason. Harper shows one and takes a ball. For Kyle Schwarber, it was his 15th postseason home run.
For Rob Thompson, that's huge. Even though it's only 1 run, it allows him to manage the game. He's going to manage this game, obviously, as a game 7. So his starter gets in any trouble, he'll have his horses ready to go. He'd prefer a little more leash than a 1 run, but at least gives him some momentum to get guys ready to finish this game.
And Zach Wheeler was a massive question coming into this game, given the velocity being down last time. But he has answered all those questions. And finally, they've gotten him some support. Harper turns on the ball.
Schwarber, Harper, foul ball. Woo! Almost turned on that one.
One of his own out there.
Little out in front.
You've asked me, what's easier, when you've had success to pitch again or when you haven't had success at making the
Hung
adjustment?
that pitch.
I think when you haven't had success at making adjustments, saw Verlander do it, grind out a win. We've seen so far Wheeler do it now and take the difference of his first game to his second game in the World Series.
And checks him out.
And finishes off the 6th. But the
All right. End of the top of the 2nd, but not before Kyle Schwarber hits a shot to right field to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the 6th. Can the Astros score against Wheeler? As I said, guys, I had a feeling the team with the first run might get that momentum and bring them right over to the end of the game. But a couple innings more to go. Astros have an opportunity. Cannot get anything rolling with Wheeler on the mound. See if they can in the bottom of the 6th. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, hit on that like button and a little scheduling about the channel going forward. If the World Series ends today or tomorrow,
as soon as the World Series ends the next day, expect MLB free agency period, free agent frenzy ready to go for the offseason. And, of course, Monday, Mets Talk Live. So we're going to get right into the Mets offseason and Major League Baseball offseason as well. Talk about everything we need to talk about, all the free agents. And tomorrow, I probably will be doing we'll see. If the World Series ends tonight, I'll see if I put up the video. But I am definitely going to do a video about the top 20 free agents and where I think those top 20 free agents are going to go on to the team. So, hopefully everybody's enjoying the game as much as you possibly can. If you're not a team that is rooting, that is a fan of those two teams, it's kind of hard to root for any team because it's not your team, but, you know, it is baseball. It's a good game right now. It's a close game, pitcher's duel. But, you know, it's more fun talking about the Mets, to be honest with you guys. But, you know, members of the channel, don't worry. I haven't forgot about you guys. Going to be doing another giveaway very soon for the offseason to get, you know, the blood flowing again in Mets baseball and get excited about the offseason and the potential free agents that the Mets could get, possible trades, and all that fun stuff. So we're waiting for the commercial to be over. It's 10 o'clock. Going to the bottom of the sixth. Phillies up 1-0 with a Schwarber home run to right field. Trying to stay alive to get it to a game 7. But the Astros might have something to say and might actually win the World Series in game 6. We shall see. A lot of commercials. Once again, guys, don't forget to turn your clocks back. You know, I know most people got their phones going, but make sure you do that. Again, you know, I know most people are probably home for the weekend, but, you know. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 6th, Maldonado up.
Bottom of the 6th and ball 1 on Maldonado. 9-1-2 for the Astros after Kyle Schwarber launches his 3rd home run of the World Series. So that's Chase Utley and Ryan Howard. It's the only Phillies to home run back-to-back games in the World Series. 1-1 strike.
Wheeler's been all over it. Only 2 3-ball counts, and that's how you get your team with a chance in elimination. He has almost been perfect.
Oh! Still there. He hits Maldonado. And you've said it 100 times this postseason.
And Wheeler hits Maldonado. Not what you wanted to do. Top of the order coming up.
In there is that he didn't make an attempt or dove into it, and I don't think he did. And I think this is the right call. We saw before where it was a very obvious lean in. He did pull his arm back, and that's all he can ask for. If you think about getting hit, the pitch is in. If he makes no movement and even goes towards home plate with his elbow, they can make
Phil's Mafia, what's up? Well, we'll see.
There was Ledmus Diaz who gave up the World Series, who leaned into it.
They're challenging and hoping that it hit the bat, but they're going to see real quickly.
The Phillies are challenging it. I don't get why. You can't challenge.
You know, you got to make an attempt to get out of the way. You can't make it to.
You know, they can't change the call saying he didn't attempt to get out of it. So.
By the pitch, and I don't know if they're challenging the fact that you can even challenge him.
Yeah, I don't think you could challenge if you try to get it out of the way.
Making that move to get hit. Certainly, there's no question on whether it hit the bat.
Yeah, that was a stupid challenge. Now you better hope. You better hope.
Whether or not he tried to get hit, right? And so the leadoff man is on. Top of the order's up.
You better hope that another challenge possibility doesn't happen. I don't know. I have no idea, Bill's Mafia.
He got right up on the chalk line of the batter's box, almost daring Wheeler to come in with that 2-seamer running out. Yeah, anything the Astros can get from Maldonado offensively is gravy.
All right, top of the order. Once again, Altuve is coming up with a man on.
So once you've seen that, I think it was a great move. We don't see hitters move in the box at all anymore. They plant their feet, they stay. Well,
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to waste a challenge like that with a couple more innings to go, just in case you got to hold on to that challenge. But they just lost the challenge now. Can Altuve finally come through in the playoffs? Been struggling.
First one, very high. All right, so Maldonado, take a look at where he was his previous at-bat, the third, and now look at where he is this at-bat.
Yeah, that's just great on his part and challenging the pitcher to stay with his game plan by pounding him with the fastball. Well, it worked for him.
One ball, no strikes. Altuve takes ball
Ball two. And Wheeler only has 67 pitches. Very efficient. And Altuve breaks his bat. Not a double play, but got the lead runner. 1 out.
Gotta get a fast base runner out there.
I'll tell you what, that was a gutsy pitch on a 2-0. He came in.
All right, one of the better hitters in the World Series for the Astros, Jeremy Pena. Wheeler cannot get him out tonight.
And he's leaning in, break his back. Certainly not hit hard enough for turn 2.
And so Altuve's on and Pena's up. We talk about Jeremy Pena answering all the questions that have been asked along this season. He's been the only answer for the Astros for much of this World Series.
Pena has been good in this World Series, batting .339 in the postseason. 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. Been excellent.
Time on the board. Go ahead, run at the plate. Jeremy Pena.
This might be Wheeler's last hitter. Alvarado is warming up. Unless there's a double play here, more likely they can come in to face Alvarez. And those throwovers, by the way, are to give the big left-hander more time. That's not throwing over.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, he's going to steal. It has a dual purpose.
You know, that's why a lot of people, man.
Give Alvarado a little more time.
It's amazing what the Astros have done. Fill in Springer, fill in the Correa, and then fill in Cole as well, and still make it to this point.
Wheeler Pena, outside ball one. Twice in this series, as we take a look at our player resume sponsored by Indeed, Jeremy Pena has been the last hitter that a pitcher faced.
Yeah. But it hadn't worked out very well.
No, there was a reason he became the last hitter. He homered to chase Noah Syndergaard, single to chase Aaron Nola. On this 1-0, Pena grounds one through
Base hit. Altuve's going to third. He's going to get there. First and third with 1 out. Jeremy Pena, 3 for 3. Wow. Talk about showing up in the big spot. That kid is freaking amazing, man. Wow. The only guy that's been hitting for the Astros, man. And then with the heart. And Rob Thompson is taking Wheeler out of the ballgame with 70 pitches. Wow. I don't know about that.
Speed on the bases. Pressure on the Phillies now. The Astros trying to answer.
So they've got Altuve at third, representing the tying run. They've got Pena at first, representing the go-ahead run.
70 pitches to bring in. I guess that makes sense. Big spot in the game.
We found the right model. Now
So bringing in the lefty, to face Alvarez, which is not a bad move. You know, taking out your ace with 70 pitches. I don't know about that. Wheeler pitched so well and you take him out. I don't know. But he is bringing in the lefty. It's a big spot with one out. You know, I can't kill Thompson for that, but as good as Wheeler has been, and he took care of Alvarez in his game and in the series. Surprised he didn't leave him in. Didn't give Wheeler an opportunity to get out of it himself. But again, it's an elimination game for the Phillies, so you got to do everything you can to hold that lead. Whose bullpen is elite? The Phillies? No, they're not. They've been better in the playoffs, but they're a terrible bullpen. They just been pitching better in the playoffs. I mean, it's basically the same bullpen they had all year, except for like one pitcher that they got at the deadline in Robinson. Other than that, it's the same pitchers. Ooh, that would be sweet, Alien, right? Off the lefty, too? Woo! Against Alvarado, who does gas. You know what? This could be the moment in the series where Rob Thompson might get a little scrutiny taking out Wheeler so fast to bring in Alvarado. I get why he's doing it, lefty on lefty, but Wheeler pitched so well for 5 and a third inning. You would think you would give your ace a chance to get out of it, but I mean, I wouldn't knock him. I get it, but that's tough. All right, bottom of the 6th, 1st and 3rd. Alvarez coming up, 1-0 Phillies.
Event in the world kicks off. Christian Pulisic leads the U.S. men's national team as they return to the World Cup stage for the first time in 8 years. The FIFA World Cup starts November 20th on Fox and FS1. Well, after 5 scoreless innings, Kyle Schwarber lit the fire with a solo shot to lead off the 6th against Framber Valdez. Astros wasting no time. Maldonado crowded the plate, got hit by a pitch. It was replaced by Altuve and a fielder's choice. And then a base hit for Jeremy Pena has runners at the corners. Yordan Alvarez coming up. And Jose Alvarado, this is the matchup, John, they've looked for all series. They're going to have it again. Alvarez facing off with Alvarado.
Well, you want to be a reliever in the big leagues. The last couple of times now, Alvarado has had the bases loaded, nobody out. Unfortunately, a tough situation, didn't work out well. Now he's got 1st and 3rd.
All right, here we go. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Alvarez, who's been struggling in this series, and except for the first round, he's struggled in this postseason, batting 180 in the postseason. Can he turn it around? Can change everything in this at bat. Can't go wrong going after that first pitch. You're going to get a lot of fastballs from Alvarado.
5 for 42 since 40 at-bats since.
And it's weird, too. Against lefties, he's batting .321 during the regular season. So it's a weird call by Rob Thompson, taking out Wheeler at 70 pitches.
Was all over that sinker first pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Alvarez takes way outside. Real Muto able to get his glove to it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you're trying to mess up the vision of Alvarado. He's got kind of a big one-way lead, meaning he's jockeying, trying to get Alvarado to think differently than he might be going, even though he's just staying right there.
Can Yordan Alvarez come through?
Woo! Almost hit him.
When you come in as a reliever, especially late in the game, you're always thinking, how can I get out of the jam? But sometimes you got to make sure, how can I avoid the big inning? The base is loaded, nobody out. That's 2 runs or less would be getting out of a jam. Here, at bare minimum, you've got to keep the game tied. Obviously, the best case scenario is you go back in the inning up 1-0.
On a 2-1, Alvarez.
Uh-oh.
Center field.
That might be gone. It's gone. 3-1. Woo! There you go. Finally, told you, Rob Thompson, it was gonna get iffy. That was a bad call. Oh man, did that turn quickly? 3-1 Astros, baby. Woo! Dead Central. Wow. Let's go. Oh. Wow. Rob Thompson should get fired for making that call. You do not take your ace out with 70 pitches who dominated the whole lineup. You don't do that. And then you look at the regular season numbers for Alvarez. He hits better against lefties than righties. Bad call by Thompson. Could have just ended the season for the Philadelphia Phillies right there. One with the review, and then Rob Thompson making a bonehead move to remove Wheeler from the game. Terrible.
We talked about it. It's his 3-1 homer in game 1 that possibly could be the reason they're here.
Wow.
It's his 3-1 homer.
What a bad move by Rob Thompson. You do not take out your ace when he's dominated the lineup. And he pitched well against Alvarez.
Start going to the hitter. And you saw he knew right away. Everybody in this crowd knew
Wow.
right away. And unfortunately, Alvarado knew right away.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
You're not supposed to be able to hit him up there.
No.
That was a shot.
I didn't think that was possible.
Wow.
2-0. Ball 3.
Yeah, Alvarado's done. He's all over the place now.
The biggest reason why.
It's all right, Philly. You still got the 76ers and the Flyers, baby. Oh, those Eagles, too. It's all right.
And it was an inside the park home run. Then he comes to the United States, he keeps working, works all day on his swing,
Robert, I like
adds the
that.
power, starts weightlifting, starts eating better.
Woo!
And now you've got a full-fledged monster who's vying to be a World Series hero.
I told you Dusty Baker was going to move positions. You know where he's at? He's got the camera well at third down the first base line. Don't tell me
Wow.
the managers are just like players.
Had he moved down there before the home run?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. The magic touch. Dusty Baker. That's the guy that he has many times said reminds him of a young Barry Bonds. With the biggest swing of this World Series. A 3-2 to Breckenridge. It's in the dirt. That's ball 4.
Ball 4. Alvarado is shot. It's done.
But for now, another look at a 450-foot shot.
450 feet straight away. It was like hitting a 500-foot down the line. Pull.
Woo-hoo!
And I'm telling you.
I love the reaction by the bench.
And it's the loudest this place has been in a while. And certainly Dusty.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but when Alvarado went crazy with the Mets,
First home run since the division series. If it holds up, all 3 home runs this postseason will be game winners for Yordan Alvarez.
whew, again, that was a bad move by Rob Thompson. It made no sense. Wheeler has been dominating the lineup for 5 innings, and you take up your best pitcher out with 70 pitches. Makes no sense. I get the lefty on lefty, but Alvarez bats over 300 against lefties. Makes no sense.
This is how Rob Thompson has managed the entire postseason. This is how he successfully guided the Phillies to this point. That was the matchup they wanted.
That doesn't make sense. Why would you want that matchup when Alvarez hits lefties very well? Makes no sense. If that's the matchup they wanted, And the ball gets away, and the wheels are coming off, everybody. Oh, it's so. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Ding. Ding.
He's inherited 5 runners in this series, and all 5 have scored. We talked about the 3.
Oh.
Bases loaded, nobody out. I don't know many people that can kind of.
Must be quiet in Philly tonight.
He's got to be frustrated.
It's all right. You still got Rocky. It's okay.
0. No probability was less than 1.
They need to get that guy some security. It looks like they already got some security for him.
Oh, yeah.
Ball to strike on 2.
That was beautiful.
It is so imperative now for
Damn, I wonder what the odds were he was going to hit a home run in that spot. I would have took that. Oh.
Their other big-time reliever up because they know 7, 8, 9 against some flame-throwing bullpen of Houston.
Oh, they're chanting, "We want Houston."
Pitch. Ball 2 on Tucker.
This would fulfill the 3-batter minimum for Jose Alvarado. So Anthony Dominguez ready to come in as soon as that's complete. Zach Wheeler, 5 scoreless innings. First 3 reached against him here in the 6th. Bolton comes in. The blink of the game has changed. 2-1.
4-3.
See, I know that, the hardest part about managing in the postseason is everything gets critiqued, everything gets second-guessed, everything's always micromanaged, and because you said it, this is what he's done. Wheeler at 70 pitches, even though he'd given up, just that single up the middle, the matchup called for lefty on left, and it did not work out so far for the Phillies.
Okay.
And the reason you can say that is because the feeling and rhythm of a starting pitcher is exactly that. When he's connected, I'll tell you, every hitter will tell you the same thing. You took him out, thank you. Even though the next guy throws 99, thank you. Because it's just you've seen the flow of the game. But it's the way Philadelphia and the matchups of their great left-handed and right-handed combination pitchers have been doing it all postseason.
Chris is nice.
It works
But
the
man,
last 2 times.
if I'm Wheeler, I'm pissed. You don't take out your best pitcher because of the matchup lefty on lefty. Not when Wheeler was dominating like he was. That's rough. But you know what? Oh well.
That is seeing a reliever time and again throughout the series. Just a different kind of problem.
You're not going to see a reliever in a regular season in a 3-game series 3 times. Just not. But in the postseason, in a 7-game series, you could see him 4 to 5 times. And that hitter starts gaining info and deep, and taking advantage of it.
Tucker on 3-2. Browns only getting fouled.
Tucker just fouling off pitcher after pitch.
And the other side of the point is we think that relievers are immune to just every time they get out there, they're going to have the same stuff every single time. You know how many times they warm up and don't get in or have to rev the engine? So this is what the Philadelphia Phillies have been able to do, and it's why they're here.
Ranger Suarez down there in the Phillies bullpen. Another 3-2. Tucker down swinging. Now, the other side of that coin, John, is that one thing that can give the Phillies some hope going later into this game is that even as dominant as the Astros pen has been all postseason, they're seeing the same guys as well. Dusty Baker's running the same arms out there throughout this World Series. And as he tries to protect a narrow lead here late, you've got Presley and Montero, who have both pitched in 4 to 5 games. It's going to do it for Jose Alvarado. Yordan Alvarez, so many monster home runs throughout his short big league career, but none bigger than this.
Woo.
A
That was lovely.
shot that takes a 1-0 deficit. Makes it a 3-1 lead for the Astros. 1 win from a world championship.
Well, guys. Woo. That was something. I tell you, man, Philly fans fell in love with Rob Thompson, but that call, that bullpen move was just not it. You know, it's not like Wheeler was really struggling. He almost had a double play ball, and then it was a hit up the middle that wasn't hit that hard, and then you don't even give him a chance to get out of it. I don't know. Jesus. Well, Phillies bullpen. There you go. So, once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. Once again, if you're new to the channel, say what's up. And don't worry, Mets fans. Once this World Series is over, it's going to be all about the Mets offseason. Mets Talk Live, Mets Hot Stove, MLB Free Agent Frenzy. Going to have a lot to talk about. A lot of Mets free agents. A lot of possibilities with trades for the Mets. There's so much to talk about going into the offseason for our New York Mets. And let's be honest, that's why we're really here right now, right? We want the World Series to end today so we can talk about our Mets 24/7 throughout the entire offseason. That's what we want. Because I'm ready to do that. Ready. So ready. I don't care about this World Series. It's been a good series. I don't want the Phillies to win, and it'd be nice. Broadsheet bullies were a pain in the ass. At least my dad told me about that with the Flyers and the Rangers when they used to just beat the hell out of each other. I wasn't around in those days, but my dad told me all about the Broadsheet bullies. Pretty good bar, though, in Philly, though. Robert, I am too. Like I said, I think the Mets are going to make a few re-signings of their guys. I would not be shocked if DeGrom, Diaz, and Nimmo are back. All right, here we go. Still the bottom of the sixth, 2 outs. Man on second. You got Vasquez up, and you got Dominguez in the game for the Phillies.
What a crazy sixth inning.
Right? How much fun is this? I mean, right now, Phillies fans are saying no fun at all, but as a fan of baseball, it doesn't even matter. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This isn't another big run on second base, though. Getting a 3-run lead.
But it wasn't the super intentional hit by pitch.
We'll see, Alien. That'd be nice.
The intentional get on top of the plate with a guy that struggles to get hits. He got hit. And it started.
And you got to remember, guys, it all started with a Maldonado hit by pitch.
You look back at moments in the World Series, and you look back and you'll find that home run ages from now, if the Astros hang on to win this game. But so many moments when you squint and look within the games, within the innings. And Maldonado, that subtle adjustment from the no offense catcher, starts or at this point is the key rally.
And I really thought, again, it's not second guessing, but I really thought that Alvarado was going to have to hit a cutter. And he did. He had a straight down the middle two-seamer at 98, 99. And it was not the pitch, obviously, that Alvarado was trying to locate.
There's a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, which makes it the fastest pitch that Yordan Alvarez has homered on in his career.
Oh, that's the bigger run right there. 4-1 Astros. There we go. Spilling it on. And look who it is. Christian Vasquez, one of the trade deadline acquisitions. How about that? And the wheels are falling off in the city of brotherly love. Ring the bell. Ding. Ding.
Don't think it would have mattered, but what a huge 2-out base hit.
Oh, Christian Vasquez going like that. Oh, put him to sleep. Woo!
Christian Vasquez, just his third start of the postseason. This one coming as the DH. A 2-out RBI single to make it 4-1. Trey Mancini
I like that.
I'm a little bit surprised that Hoskins is playing that kind of halfway off the bag and letting Vasquez get as big a lead as he wants.
Well, Jaden, we want Houston again.
1-2.
Round ball, not going to be easy play. Oh, nice play. Nice pick by Hoskins to end the inning, but not before 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Right after Schwarber in the top of the 6th hits a solo home run. Alvarez with the 3-run homer to give him the lead and a base hit RBI single for Christian Vasquez to make it 4-1. Astros going to the top of the 7th. Woo! There we go. Well, my question, my prediction, where the team that scored the first run got that momentum, but that didn't last long, did it? That's why you can never predict baseball. It's very unpredictable. Oh boy. There we go. Wow. Steve, you really think they would be? Come on. JL was here, though. I give JL. JL was here. JL was here, so I'm not going to kill him. But you know them bandwagon Brave fans that they're not going to show up. Why would they? They got beat down by the Phillies. Oh, boy. What? That's okay. Haven't even seen Philly fans either, to be honest. Well, 3 more innings to go. Waiting for. I wonder if Framber Valdez would still be in the game. Very interested to think that. Very curious, guys. Very curious. So, going to the top of the 7th, 4-1 Astros. Once again, guys, you're just tuning in. Don't forget to hit on that like button. And if you're new to the channel, say what's up. I know it's a lot of the same people that's been around for a while with the channel, so I do appreciate that. But don't worry, guys. Mets talk is coming very, very soon. Because it's feeling more and more like the Astros are going to take this 2022 World Series. And we can talk about our beloved Mets. Robert, I did it a couple of years already. My first time was 2018. I did it in 2019. Obviously, 2020 I didn't. I did it in 2021. I was supposed to do it this year, but the lockout happened. But I am going this year, and I'm also going to opening day in Miami as well. So within a month, about a month and a week, I'll be heading to Florida twice. But yes, I will be there. All right. Top of the 7th. Castellanos leading off. Phillies down by 3.
Started their postseason by scoring 6 runs in the 9th inning to erase a deficit. That's a strikeouts 1-1.
Hector Neris is pitching. No more Valdez.
Came back from 5-0 game 1 of the World Series.
Oh, Robert, don't worry. I do.
Another hit maker and punch back again. Or is this the Astros' time? Houston 9 outs away from the 2nd World Championship. 1-2 on Nick Castellanos.
Well, the one thing that this series goes longer, you think the Houston Astros gain the momentum and they have the advantage. Well, they took the hottest offense at home, and they started the last 27 innings really dominating with their pitching, and that's how they got here. And their bullpen has been almost unhittable. So they have, when they were down, they have flexed the muscles.
How about this? Hector Neris was a Philly who couldn't find his footing as a Philly, and now one of the guys that the Astros are using late in the game in the clincher popped up.
Altuve says that he's got it in Dallas. Now, the Phillies took a 2-1 series lead by hitting 5 home runs in Game 3. Christian Javier then comes back and unthinkably has 6 innings and a combined no-hitter. Verlander gets his first World Series win, giving up 1 run.
2 runs for the Phillies in the last 3 games. Tony, you shut down Schwarber for the most part, and Harper. This team is lacking a lot in this lineup. The Astros ERA in the bullpen is .87. That's insane.
That's not all you can ask for.
That's 5 runs and 51 third. And 4 of those 5 runs came on 4 solo home runs.
Yes. Yeah, so it wasn't anything other than solo home runs. You think they could score. The Astros did enough. They only scored so far in this World Series in 9 different innings. But it's a crooked number. And 6 of those that have helped them so far.
0-2 on Alec Bohm. That's been the thing all year. Just enough from the offense. They've not been as good of an offensive team as they have in recent years during this great run. But they've been good. And the pitching staff has been great. Plenty enough to make it all hold up. Bohm was 1 for 2 today. It's one of the 2 hits for the Phillies. He's 1 for 3.
2 outs. That was quick. Phillies are falling apart.
This is just go ahead and hit it. Top of the zone. Flame.
94 looking like 98 from the old Philly. Eight years in Philadelphia, didn't get a chance to play in the postseason, hit free agency, and his number 1 priority was going somewhere that he felt like could take him to October. Here in November, trying to provide the bridge to the clinching game in the World Series. James Segura with the bases empty at 2 out. Playing on a fastball, which has been sneaky fast in this inning.
He's staying back over the rubber and letting his fastball go. I haven't really even got to his great split finger that often. You see he's going to hold the grip behind him as a split finger and then goes to the glove. If he needs to change, he changes to a fastball much easier than doing the opposite.
Right 2.
Because if he holds the fastball behind his body, then he has to do too much to change to the split. So anyone who throws splits in the big leagues, they will always hold it as a split and then change it in the glove to something else if they have to.
Bama's losing.
That's a good look at it right there.
0-2 pitch.
Oh, that was a quick inning. Going to the bottom of the 7th. Hector Neris shut down his former team in the 7th. 2 more innings to go for the Houston Astros to win their 2nd World Series in 6 years. Ring the bell, guys. Ding. Ding. There we go, guys. There we go. Woo! Phillies are looking demoralized, which you can expect. But you know what? It's only 3 runs. It can quickly happen. We know the Phillies came back from 6 runs in the top of the 9th to beat. Well, they tied it. Came back 5 runs down to win Game 1. So, got to be careful there. But not over until it's over. But it's looking like, Abreu's going to come in the 8th inning for the Astros. And then, of course, Presley in the 9th. And that's could be the end of the 2022 season. And the Houston Astros could be raising the Commissioner's Trophy. How about that? And you know what? Not only do they beat the Phillies, that makes you feel good as a Met fan, but it will really piss off the Yankee fans a little bit more. And that's just icing on the cake, guys, for us Met fans. Nobody could say they were cheating. Nobody could say they were doing anything. They lost Correa, lost Springer, lost Cole. Every one of them went to new teams. Springer to the Blue Jays, Correa to the Twins, Cole to the Yankees. Yet the Astros 6 times in a row to the ALCS, multiple times to the World Series, and 2 innings away to winning their second World Series in 6 years. Not only did they could beat the Phillies, but they destroyed the Yankees. Yankee fans have no legs to stand on, and that's all the Mets fan can ask for, considering that the Mets decided to waste their time in the wild card round. But 2 innings to go, the Phillies still have a chance to come back and find a way to come back in this Game 6 and force a Game 7. But if the 7th inning looked like they did in the 7th, where the bats just looked terrible, like they already said, we lost, it's probably over. But you never know. Just never know. Waiting for the bottom of the 7th to come. Astros up by 3. Astros bounced right back in the bottom of the 6th when Schwarber hit the home run to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead. And now it's 4-1 going to the bottom of the 7th. 5 hits for the Astros, 2 hits for the Phillies. So far, the Phillies scored 2 runs in 3 games. Tough. Here we go.
Sports Illustrated famously predicted in 2014 that they would win it in 17. And they did. They've been 3 times since. Looking for their first title since the 2017 season. 5 players remain from that 2017 team. 3 position players as they look for their second title and their first one since.
Yeah, true, Boogie. But you know what? They should blame Rob Thompson for taking out Wheeler. It made no sense to take out Wheeler in that spot. Steve, I'm going to try, I promise. I am going to try. The offseason with baseball starting, so, a lot of streams I got to do for that as well.
And we are playing under different rules, stricter rules regarding electronic sign stealing. These Astros should be celebrated for who they are.
They lead 4-1, bottom of the 7th inning. Chas McCormick leads off against Zach Eflin. That's how one of the guys gaining from that 2017, Lance McCullers. When the cheating scandal was revealed, he said, we knew the one thing we could do was win and could win a lot. We understand people still aren't going to like us. We know if we kept winning, we'd at least have to start to respect us. And a 6th consecutive trip to the championship series this year, a 4th World Series trip in 6 years, and a skinny touchdown. The GM has changed, the manager's changed, the roster is almost entirely changed, but the winning hasn't. And now the Astros are on the verge of an undeniable title. A 1-2 McCormick in the dirt, 2-2.
Yeah, Robert, that's who I feel good for. If it happens. Not over yet. But if it happens, I'll feel really nice for Dusty Baker. He deserves it.
Leading the series 3-2 in Game 6.
And then next up, Buck Showalter, baby. Let's go.
The Giants against the Angels.
Get him his first World Series. How about that?
Like the Phillies have done it this season to get to this point, you might as well continue that theme and do the improbable against a bullpen that has not given up anything. So,
honestly, I didn't really care
postseason.
I never liked the Dodgers, so I was probably rooting for the Astros. Nice pitch by Eflin, 1 out.
Going to the 7th. Now, a quick word from Capital One.
Capital One is the official bank and credit card partner of Major League Baseball. What's in your wallet?
Martin Maldonado, one of those footnotes to the big 6th inning. He started it by getting right on top of the plate and getting hit by a pitch. Strike 1 from Eflin. Maldonado, even though he's one of the worst offensive players statistically in baseball, Astros would tell you he's one of the most valuable guys on the team with his defense or the way that he handles the staff. One of the guys said if we could quantify preparation and leadership, this guy would lead the league. And you add in the little wrinkles that he can provide you offensively like he did last inning. And he moved back to a normal spot box here. 1-2. On the left, this is at bat in the 3rd. On the right, when he got hit in the 6th.
And that's
Boogie, if anybody is doing that, they're just insane. I'm sorry.
Get up in the box. You don't see anybody move.
Uh-oh.
He hits one in the air. The
Maldonado? Oh, that's staying in the yard. It looked like he hit it harder than that. 2 outs.
And for that, I give him a ton of credit. I mean, it may look pretty. It might look to some people like, that's not baseball. It actually is in this moment to do something different when you can't. You may be a little bit an underdog when it comes to hitting against, let's say, Wheeler. It proved to be the inning.
Altuve reached on a fielder's choice in that inning. 0 for 3 with a couple Ks. Astros trying to win a World Series without getting an RBI from Altuve in the postseason.
But I just
Imagine that.
so amazing
And that's why the Astros are so good. The Astros can win the World Series without Jose Altuve getting an RBI in the postseason. That's so hard to do. It's not even funny.
That has made that target harder to be successful because every time they came in to face Alvarado, Pena had done something special. And even though Alvarado was 1-4 in those situations, it's a pretty good run.
Two balls and 1 strike. Well, the Phillies will hope to capitalize on a similar thing. They're going to see Brian Abreu likely. It'll be the 4th time that they see him. And then you've got Ryan Presley, who the Astros would have for the 9th inning. They've seen him 5 times. Bigger part 4 times they've seen Presley. This will be the 5th. Eflin home with a 2-2. Altuve waits on it, yanks it to
That's a bit. Jeremy Altuve. That should be a double.
Altuve on his way to 2nd with a 2-out double. As Schwarber digs it out. Now tied for 4th all-time with his 103rd postseason hit.
Well, he got a hanger right at the middle of the plate, hooked it down the line. I think he was content to get a single, and then this allowed him to get to 2nd.
And now Jeremy Pena has continued his MVP case. 2 more hits in this game.
Pena is going to be the World Series MVP, I think. They might give it to Alvarez since what he did.
Who's got your vote?
Yeah, but I know. Smokes used to kill us.
I mean, he's gotten a hit at every series.
Or is it Jordan Alvarez? I guess.
No, it's between those two. It's between Valdez and Pena. I would lean towards Pena as much as I'm a pitcher.
Sitting 4-17 in this World Series. One ALCS MVP. Tries to become the first rookie position player to win World Series MVP. Two rookie winners have been pitchers. Larry Sherry for the Dodgers in 1959 and then Livan Hernandez for the Marlins in 97.
It really is a tough call because you got a starting pitcher that just gave up 2 runs in 2 outings to a really, really good offense, and then you got this guy playing every day and doing everything. So I'm going to take it.
0-2-2. Taste the breaking ball. And that finishes off
All right.
the 7th.
2 more innings left to go. Still 4-1 Astros going to the top of the 8th. Abreu coming in for the Astros in the top of the 8th against the Phillies lineup. Let's see what can happen here. 6 outs for the Astros to win their second World Series championship in 6 years. Well, guys, the World Series could be over. MLB offseason could commence. Mets offseason can officially start. Billy Epler, Mets front office, Steve Cohen is on the clock. A lot of free agents for the Mets. Basically, nearly all their bullpen, all their rotation, their starting center fielder are all free agents. And what are the Mets going to do? I wonder. But it gives us a lot to talk about, a lot to have fun. Hopefully it's not a disappointment, and we can go into the 2023 season feeling very confident what the Mets did in the offseason. And this time, do what they have to do and get the job done. That's what I want to see. Let's hope. But the Astros are 6 outs away, everybody. 6 outs away. Just waiting. And don't worry, guys. If the Astros do win, it's not going to be a long post game. It's going to be like 2-3 minutes. You know, I got to go to work. So I got to go when it happens. So just talk about the ending a little bit. Talk about the scheduling that I'll have for the week. So we can talk about the Mets offseason, and then we'll go from there. Oh, boy. Long day. So hopefully everybody is enjoying themselves as much as possible if you're a Mets fan. Because, again, it's not the same as having your team win it, obviously. But it's a little satisfying that the Astros, who destroyed the Yankees, and the Phillies, who Met fans can't stand, it all just a combination, puts it all together and makes you feel just a little bit better as a Met fan. Again, it's not exactly the feeling you want, but it's good enough. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that I think everybody who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame should be in the Hall of Fame. You know, if you want to put a little thing next to their plaque saying Barry Bonds was, got the home run record and was tested for steroids or whatever it had to be, I think they should put that in there.
They talk about.
Yes, they do, Alien.
NASCAR, how much horsepower your car has.
Good, that's the way I like it. I like division matchups at the end of the season. All right, 6 outs away. Brian Abreu on the mound for the Astros. Oh, nice play. 1 out.
They put 98 and played it, Scott, but Bregman quick hands as the hot corner proves to be exactly that.
Astros are just making the plays.
This is the hot corner. It didn't come off quite as hard, but still, when you're in, you got to have good reaction. An out's an out. Now there's only 5 left for Philly.
Another pinch hitter here.
Brandon Marsh.
Here is Brandon Marsh. Trying to get
Pinch
some
hitting.
traffic ahead of the top of the order. The Phillies since hit 5 home runs in Game 3 have scored just 3 runs on 9 hits since. They are
Phillies offense, 8 for the last 92. 3 runs, 41 strikeouts. Not going to get it done.
Marsh takes away 1 ball, 1 strike. Here sits Dusty Baker. That close. 5 outs away for Dusty.
Alien, be careful. Don't say that yet. There's still 5 outs. Remember, the Phillies came back 5 runs down in the 9th. He came back and won it. Gotta be careful. They can score runs rather quickly. Top of the order's coming up too, so gotta be careful. Marsh hits a ball, and it should be a can of corn. 1 out. 2 outs. 4 outs to go.
Postseason calls for award-winning bourbon. Evan Williams, 1783 small batch.
And Brian Abreu didn't even start playing baseball until he was 14. He was a basketball player. He had very little time for sports anyways, because from the time he was 11 or 12, he was working.
Yeah, that was like the Yankees stats in the series against the Astros, striking out that many times.
And when he played baseball, he was a hitter and an outfielder, and then somebody said, why don't you give pitching a try? Changed his life. Here he is in the 8th inning of what he and the Astros hope is the clinching game.
Schwarber up 2 outs.
Strike 1, wicked rip, and a wicked pitch.
Well, Schwarber, Joe, he started this postseason, he couldn't look more lost. But boy, he found it at the right time, and he found it and got back locked in to being the most dangerous left-handed hitter to lead off a game with power, not exactly a speedster.
Yeah, kind of guy that makes you uncomfortable right away as that starting pitcher. Started the postseason 1 for 20. 6 home runs and 11
2 strikes.
They're going to 1-2 hole here. Joe's back with 2 strikes, pops it up, back, and strike 3.
And why would you bunt in that situation? That made no sense. That was a give-up at bat right there. 3 outs away for the Astros. Why is Schwarber bunting in that situation? Makes no sense. You know, you get a handle on a ball, you hit one out of the park, it's 4-2, and you go into the 9th inning down by 2. But Schwarber basically gave up that at bat. Baseball is great. Well, guys, 3 outs away for the Astros to win their 2nd World Series and put the Phillies out of their misery. But, like I said before the game started, Philly fans, it does suck if you don't come back and win this ball game, but nobody was expecting you to be here. But the run was pretty damn cool for you guys. But you know what? You got to finish it. You know what? 2015 Mets didn't finish it either. So it sucks, but that's life. Yeah, Ellie, I don't know what the hell that was with Schwarber. Like, it was like a give-up at bat.
I don't know. That was just stupid. Like, you know what? If you happen to hit a mistake, it's 4-2. You know, you're down by 3 runs. You're not down by 8. You know, I get if you were down by 8, you want to get some runners on, but like, you know, you hit a home run in that spot. It's 4-2. And, you know, if you only score that 1 run, you go into the 9th inning down by 2. All you need is a bloop and a blast to tie the game. So that seemed like a give up at bat. I don't know. That was kind of stupid. But you know what? The pressure is on, and now they don't start thinking properly. There you go, Lucas. So, once again, guys, we're 3 outs away for the MLB offseason to start and free agency to start. And we can officially start the Mets offseason. Get ready for the 2023 season, and that's what we want. Let's go. I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. Gonna get a whole new introduction for the live stream. You know, like the introduction before the live streams during the Mets season this year. Gonna have something a little bit better, a nice little video montage with Citi Field, Tom Seaver statue, 7 train, all that fun stuff. Lucas, well, we got to get through the offseason, get through the season, and actually get to another playoffs. How about that? Well, Steve, I doubt that. You know, I don't think DeGrom is just going to sign right off the bat. He's going to talk to other teams. Edwin Diaz, you'll probably see, be the one to sign during these 5 days. Other than that, Nimmo is going to talk to other teams, and everybody else is going to probably. So, we'll see. But here we go. Bottom of the 8th. Astros lead 4-1. Alvarez is up. David Robinson in the game for the Phillies.
A ring as a manager. Here in his 25th year.
2,093 wins without a title. Guess who's number 3? Buck Showalter. How about that? Lucas, I don't trust Judge, to be honest with you. Give me Trey Turner instead.
Bryson Stott stays in the game and plays short. Brandon Marsh in the game at center. 1-2 on Alvarez.
3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. That's a dream. That was game 1.
Alien, it's looking like it.
Luis Castillo. That was in game 2. In between there was some
3 teams down, 1 to go.
Locked in. You'd think he'd be locked in. Some days off, take you away from your rhythm. Game 6, third big swing of the series.
Down swinging here.
1 out.
They ain't gonna remember those strikeouts in the 5-for-42 in the middle of the big swings. They remember the big moments, the moments that last. And he's got a few of them.
No, Robert, I'd rather have like a Jock Peterson or Josh Bell. Justin Turner, 38 years old. I'm not trying to at all. It'd be another Robinson Cano. He didn't have a good season for the Dodgers.
Alex Bregman spins this one back foul. Dusty, we were talking about this earlier, has friends all over the world pulling for him. It's really not hyperbole to say that. 54 years in the game. That's 54 years of teammates and foes and all those players that played for him. Outside the game, it's a list of who's who. I mean, he's friends with Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg. Friends with Joe Namath, Rob Lowe. He once partied with Jimi Hendrix. And he's surely got friends up in heaven looking down, pulling for him too. Everybody from Satchel Paige to Hank Aaron to Tommy Lasorda. Go to 1-1. And no bigger fans up there watching than his parents. Dustin said before the game today, when he does let himself reflect on this whole thing, if he does get this moment where he's able to get what he's always wanted, that's who he's going to think about first, his parents. Including his mom, Christine, who passed away in January. 2-2 on Alex Bregman. So they'll think of them. Countless people are thinking of him. Robertson's 2-2. Full count on Bregman.
Well, we said the Astros 1 through 5 had to do most of the damage. They did it again.
Yep, 4 runs have scored. Top 4 in the lineup. On the 3-2, there's a curve.
And that's a base hit for Bregman.
Schwarber grabs it. Bregman on his way to second. Schwarber's throw.
Oh, that's a double.
Well, we
Nice
see this
hustle,
replay.
1 out.
It's an incredible slide by
Always got to add on. 3 runs is not enough sometimes.
throw that got on the right side of the bag, which made Segura have to swing around and put what looked like an easy tag up and out. But watch it pull that outside hand to the outside part of the bag.
Oh, he might have been out.
Ow. It's going to probably and out. Look at this is the sweep tag across the bag. And that
He might be out.
hits his finger. We'll talk about a game of inches.
What a shot. What a crew we're lucky enough to have with Fox Sports.
What flexibility he's easy to have on that finger. Oh,
Seeing if he's out. He looked like he was out.
Playing the waiting is the hardest part. That means more than one thing at this point. The call here. The celebration is coming shortly.
so my fingers don't sting right now.
He's got like 5 months to rest it. They got him out here.
Well, waiting for the replay, the challenge to see if he is out. He looked out.
Zane's an expert. Broke his finger earlier this year. Got sacrificed to Alex. How to heal it fast.
Very long replay here.
This is obviously a good call here. They're going to be sure that they're going to get it right. After Bregman hits Tucker. Astros got 4 runs in the 6. Trying to add on here in the 8th, and here's your call.
And they called him out. 2 outs. All right, that's a big call right there. Could still possibly keep a 3-run lead, and the Phillies still got a shot in the night.
Just get the free Super 6 app on your phone now. Enter your 6 days in the NFL Sunday Challenge contest.
We shall see.
2 out, and here's Tucker. One ball, no strikes. Timelessly cool, that man. 73 years old, Dusty Baker. 1-1 strikeout, Tucker.
Presley warming up, coming in for the bottom of the ninth to possibly win it for the Astros.
Ready for his chance to lock this one down. Looking for his first ring. Shot foul 1-2. Oh my. Look out over there. Huh? Took it out of the glove. Put it in the dugout. Astros trying to do something that's not been done in almost a decade. That is clincher
Heads up.
at home. Last team to clinch
Nice
it
angle on that foul ball.
In 2013, 9 years ago, last time it happened.
Popped up, should end the inning.
Schwarber will make the call and the catch.
And there we go. 3 outs away for the Astros to win their second World Series in 6 years. 2, 3, 4. Hoskins, Realmuto, and Harper to try to win or try to tie the game or go ahead. Possibly trying to salvage Game 6 to get to a Game 7. Presley coming in to save it and win it for the Astros. 3 outs away. Man, how nice would it be to be a fan and have that feeling being 3 outs away from a World Series? That'd be nice at some point, right, Mets fans? We already dealt with 2015 where it felt 3 outs away from losing the World Series. We felt that. We know how the Phillies feel. We went through it in 2015. But to be 3 outs away from winning the World Series, I don't even know how I would feel at that moment. Like, I probably will cry. I'm not going to lie. But could be the end of the 2022 season in a few minutes. Let's see. All right. Oh, boy. I mean, Boogie, yeah, of course we're going to say that. But you know what? What about the Pirates fans if it happened to them? Or, just really bad teams over the years, Three outs away. Yeah, Steve, I'm not ashamed either. I cry. I'm not even gonna lie. All the shit that we've been through with this Mets team, going through the Will Ponds and the curveball that Beltran takes, and 2000 losing to the Yankees. I was 13 years old at that point, and just 2015 got to go through that crap. 2016, Connor Gillespie 3-run homer off of. I just can't. No, Boogie, that's not true. When I was in Pittsburgh, Pirate fans are there. Trust me. They have good conversation. They're really good fans out there. The problem is they don't support their owner, who is garbage. That's why. Who is cheap. And I spoke to a lot of Pittsburgh Pirates fans when I was in Pittsburgh last year. All right, guys, 3 outs away. Presley on the mound. And Dave said they don't go to games because they don't want to support an owner that they know is not going to spend money and make the team better.
Dynamite, yeah, he has, and it's really because of his breaking balls. They just don't hit it.
Steve, that's awesome.
He got even better in the postseason. 111. Having trouble with the pitch count here. The device that has happened.
All right, I have a problem with the pitch column.
Not often that happens in your home stadium, but it's not often you pitch in your home stadium with a chance to win the World Series. As they get this figured out, reminds you that the World Baseball Classic is back, an exclusive on Fox, all beginning March 2023.
Possibility that Harper could be the last out. He bat third in the inning.
third in this ninth inning. It's Hoskins, Realmuto, and Harper against Presley.
Well, the Phillies get X for anybody else in this lineup right now. 2, 3, 4. The guys that got him here.
Hoskins, who is over for his last 13. Swings and misses.
Strike one.
Strike one.
You grind hard no matter what the circumstances are. Obviously, if it's just a one-run game, it's one swing can tie the game. But he has 3 runs to work with. But you don't want that leadoff guy to get on.
Ooh, close.
Ryan Presley came over at the deadline in 2018. So
Steve, that's awesome.
So many of these Astros are. Presley's 1-1 pitch.
Strike 2.
Again, if you haven't seen Presley throw much, he doesn't throw anything straight. Everything cuts. He has tremendous spin on his pitches. So a cutter that is going to be his version of a fastball, and then he throws a knuckle curve that is so fast that it breaks so quickly. The hitter has really little time to recognize it.
Hoskins starting the ninth.
Fly ball should be 1 out.
Tucker. Astros.
2 outs to go.
You know what, we talk all the time, and you mentioned what this would mean to the players, what this would mean to Dusty Baker. You know who we forget that it means the most to, probably? The fans. The home fans here that get a chance to get one without any asterisks.
Fans deserve it. Town deserves it. 4-1 in the ninth inning. Bases empty, 1 gone. JT Realmuto lines the ball in the center.
And that's a base hit. All right. They got a little bit of life there. First pitch hitting.
Realmuto with the first hit since
Harper will not be the last out. Or it could be. Double play.
The first hitters out is so huge because now with
All right. Game not over yet.
always one pitch away from getting out.
Try to get ahead of him, but Realmuto was right on it. Hit it up the middle.
This man can't tie it up. When you're a closer, you don't care about your sexy stats. You just care about walking in to end the game before they tie it up.
Not over yet, guys.
Run brought in by Christian Vasquez with 2-out base hit. Room at large now to Harper representing the tying run. Tying run in the on-deck circle in the form of Nick Castellanos. Harper is 0 for 3 here in Game 6.
Popped up first pitch. 2 outs.
They won their first World Series in their 56th year in 2017. They got back in 2019. They won 107 games that year. They led the World Series 3-2 and then fell short. Last year they got there again. They were favored again and fell to the Braves. Another shot.
1 more out.
And an out away.
A lot of cell phones out to capture the moment.
Castellanos. There goes the runner.
Popped up.
Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker.
And they won the World Series. Astros win. Phillies lose. Ring the bell. Astros win the 2022 World Series. No asterisks. No cheating. Nobody can say a word. Yankee fans, shut up. Philly fans, welcome to the Loserville. And we are back. Now, World Series champions, Astros. How about that? Dusty Baker. Congratulations for Dusty Baker. That's who I'm very happy for, Dusty Baker. The most wins as a manager without a World Series, and he gets one in 2022. Next up, Buck Showalter. How about that, guys? But hey, Philly fans, listen up. You had a great run in this postseason. Nobody even you guys did not expect to be at this point. You guys worked your ass off and played really good throughout this postseason. You just ran into a better team. Astros 2022 World Series champions. Congratulations, Dusty Baker. Very proud for him. Very happy for him. That's awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Guy that brought credibility and stability back to the Astros in the wake of the scandal. Guy that's been in baseball for more than 50 years. He's a baseball legend. He's a beautiful human being. And he has the ring that everybody wanted.
You know, you're at the Astros and that 4 or 5 players we're talking about as you watch this replay. Everything comes full circle right here. And you feel like you're
congratulations.
so much over your head.
That's awesome.
And it carries over for a long time.
Everybody started hugging Dusty.
And Dusty Baker got out of his.
That's awesome.
And what a moment for the city.
You know, Dusty Baker was a finalist for the Phillies job when they hired Joe Girardi in 2020, and he was crushed when he didn't get it.
I hope Penny is the World Series MVP. He deserves it. He played great in this series, but Alvarez got the game-winning hit. The rookie, Jeremy Pena. How does that feel? Being a rookie, winning the World Series.
A week later, the phone rang. It was the Houston Astros. The right man at the right time for the right team.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel happy for the Astros players, man. I'll tell you. They went through some shitty times in 2017. Since then. Good for them.
Saw that ball travel 450 feet.
You know, obviously I knew as soon as he hit that one, it was a big, big fly. First time I see that in his ballpark. But, you know, I just was happy because I know how good those guys are in the bullpen. And, you know, by that time, I thought 3-1 would be a good lead for us to give us a chance to win the game. But then Brisa came out behind him and get the big, the 4th run. And, you know, like I said, we're just happy. We won.
All right, guys. So Astros win the World Series 4-2 over the Philadelphia Phillies. Astros can finally say F you to all of Major League Baseball. They finally did it without the asterisks, and nobody could say anything except they were the best team. And they did it. Congratulations to the Houston Astros, 2022 World Champions, and of course, Dusty Baker. So, guys, that was the end of the 2022 season, but even better than that, the Mets offseason starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. 9 a.m., Mets can speak to their players exclusively about contract negotiations. So we'll see what happens with the Mets. 9 a.m. Don't forget to check out. I'm going to post a YouTube short about the opening of MLB free agency exclusive talking period with their players in negotiations for 5 days. So I'm going to do a YouTube short to announce MLB free agency for our Mets. Once again, guys, everybody have a good night. Phillies did not win. Ring the bell. Ding. Ding. See you the rest of the week. MLB free agency. Mets Talk Live on Monday. Mets Hot Stove on Wednesday. We'll be ready to go. Talking Mets baseball. What are the Mets going to do? What are their offseason plans? All that to talk about. Everybody have a great night. We got what we wanted. Phillies losing. Yankees nowhere near the World Series. That's the best we can have, considering the fact that the Mets did not get that far. So, with that said, everybody, have a good night. As always, Met fans, let's go Mets. See you next time, guys, for the 2022 offseason for the Mets. Here we go, guys. Have a good night.